Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was the Reincarnation of Bardock movie. Before we start, please go support ancalagonintheblack for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Deku is a male in this story. Chapter 1. In a world where quirks are powers that 80% of the world have, well, the quirkless, those who do not have powers, are the ones who receive the bullion of those who have quirks. But in a boy named Izuku Midoriya, the boy went with his mother and sister to see his quirk. Doctor. Your daughter has 2 quirks, one is yours, while the other is her father's. 11. Doctor. But your son has nothing. The boy's dream was gone, and when they got home he received a blow from his mother. Inko. Damn quirkless, get out of my house. The boy, heartbroken by his mother's words, left home with nothing but his clothes. The boy walked with his tears until he found a dog in an alley. Izuku. Hey friend, do you like me? I'll call you king. The boy and the dog were doing fine aside from getting a friend, another boy named Dark, for a while, until some boys approached Izuku. Boy. Or look at some quirkless. Dark. What do you want? Boy 2. We just wanted to say hello. They began to hit them until the dog attacked the boys. Boy. Damn dog. They make some kind of fire to burn the dog so that it ends up dead, while Dark and Izuku cried because of this. Dark. Now that things are going badly, we become worse friends. Izuku. Yes, but we will get better. Then a villain appeared. Villain. Hello kids. The boys noticed that he was a villain, but before they could run, the villain took out some kind of weapon with which he pierced Dark as he pushed Izuku. Izuku. Dark. Dark. Run, friend. Izuku. He only paid attention to her to run while crying, remembering all the bad things that happened to him. He ran, but he got tired, so he walked until without realizing it he ran into a girl. Izuku. I'm so sorry, I didn't look where I was walking. Girl. It's okay, did something happen to you? The boy raised his head to see a girl's blonde hair smiling at him, but then the father arrived. Man. Melissa, is something wrong? Melissa. Nothing, I want to know what's wrong with this boy. The man sees the green-haired man who was crying, so he knelt down. Avi. Is something wrong? Did you get lost? Izuku. My family hates me. Avi. Why don't you tell me what's going on? Izuku. Today we went to the hospital and a doctor said that I don't have a quirk, but my sister does. We barely got home and they kicked me out, then I had a dog and some time later a friend, but they killed them. Avi, upon hearing that, became angry for the poor boy's parents, as well as saddened by the death of the person closest to Izuku. Avi. Do you want to come to my house? Izuku. But I'm quirkless. Avi. I don't care. The boy hugged the man for this. Avi. What is your name? Izuku. I'm Izuku. Avi. Okay Izuku, let's go home. Then that they went to a part where they took a plane, to the boy's surprise, until they reached an island where when they got off they saw the place, leaving the boy surprised by how people used their quirks without any problem. They walked until they reached a huge building. Avi. You will live here. The boy was in shock until they entered. Avi. Okay, Izuku, you'll sleep here. Izuku only took a bath so that later he would go to sleep in a room that had great technology, but the boy took a photo of a day when they had some money to get a photo of him and his friend with a dog having a smile, but now Izuku no longer had a smile on his face, but a great seriousness, so he fell asleep. Chapter 2. After Izuku has been through very bad times such as the abandonment of his mother, sister and father, apart from losing his best friend and dog for Davi and Melissa to find him so that he could go to his house, but when he fell asleep the boy appeared in his mental space. Izuku. Where am I? I looked at a kind of desert which had rocks with holes that looked like houses and a sky that looked pink. It's your mental space, it's planet Vegeta, the home of the Saiyans. Izuku. Who are you? I am Bardock, the first Super Saiyan. Izuku. Hello Mr. Bardock. Bardock. Boy, come, I'll tell you my life. The boy sat down to begin listening to Bardock's story of the Saiyans, apart from how they were betrayed, how he traveled to the past, how he was found by Towa to be used against her son Goku, thus knowing all the transformations of a Saiyan. Izuku. That's great. Bardock. Boy, listen to me carefully, you are my reincarnation, so I am going to pass on some things to you. Luckily for you I learned several techniques from my son and his friends, so you will know about those techniques apart from the Ozarus. When you transform into a Super Saiyan, new memories will come to your head. Izuku. Yes. Bardock. Your training begins tomorrow. Izuku. Yes sir Bardock. Bardock. One more thing, keep the Saiyan name high. Izuku. I promise I will do it no matter what. Bardock. One more thing, I will teach you to be a respected man like Escanor and I. Izuku. Yes, but who is Escanor? Bardock. Go away now. At that Izuku wakes up and gets out of bed to put on his clothes to go to breakfast. Avi. Hello Izuku. Izuku. Hello. Melissa. Izuku, what is that? Izuku looked behind him noticing a tail. Izuku. I don't know. Avi. Looks like you awakened your quirk. Melissa grabbed Izuku's tail with some force to see that he fell to the floor. Melissa. Izuku. Avi. Let go of your tail. He let go of her tail to see how she got up. Izuku. It's fragile. Melissa. I'm sorry. Izuku. It's okay. Avi. Apparently it's your weak point. Izuku. Mr. Davi, can I train? David. Why? Izuku. I want to be a great hero. Avi smiled at this. Avi. Well, I have a training room. When they finished breakfast they went to a room where they saw that it had training machines as well as areas, one of which was burning, another where there was a lot of water, and more. Izuku. Thank you very much, Mr. Davi. She bowed to him. Davi. No need to thank, I just want to see that you are a great hero. Izuku, do you want to know what your quirk is? Izuku. No need, when I woke up things came to my mind that I had never seen before, and among these was my tail. Avi. Well, I'll leave you. The boy began to train receiving instructions from Bardock, while Davi and Melissa only went to their laboratories, although at some point Melissa would visit Izuku, watching how he trained with great spirit. Chapter 3. After Izuku woke up after talking to Bardock apart from starting his training in which he put his all in order to be the best hero in the world, apart from being the strongest for the promise he made to Bardock. Izuku. How do I start? Bardock. We'll start with your strength, you're very weak. The boy understood and began to grab some weights and start lifting them. Bardock. Stop. Izuku. What's wrong? Bardock. I want you to put on some heavy clothes. The boy did as requested, wearing heavy clothing that barely allowed him to move. Bardock. Now where the mountains are, you will climb them. The boy did as requested and began to climb the mountain, but every time he fell to the ground or almost fell off the small mountain, he got back up with a great fighting spirit. 1 year. The first year Izuku began with his body, his physical condition, having to lift some weights apart from having to start putting on heavy clothes all the time, except when he had to go to sleep, but as soon as he got up he put on his clothes apart from that, as Bardock said, a man would do it, so the boy would go to a part where there were trees. Izuku. What am I doing here? Bardock. Make a hut with your hands, break the trees with your hands and feet. The boy did as he was told and began to break the trees with his fists and kicks, although at first he did nothing. 2 years. The second year the boy Bardock taught him how a Saiyan fights by having to go to a part where there were robots with which to fight hand to hand without using a quirk. Izuku. What level do I put it on? He said while looking at the levels. Bardock. Obviously put it at 20. Izuku. But this has 50 levels. Bardock. I don't care. The boy did as he was told to start fighting the robot. 3 years. The third year he had to learn about Kai, succeeding in starting to learn how to do things with Kai like flying, making Kai spheres, and how to launch an attack, which he had to handle from afar, although the hardest part was learning to measure his strength and knowing how to feel the energies of the people around him. 4 years. The fourth year Izuku learned about Kai at 100%, so he had to start training with the techniques that Bardock told him, since he had learned the techniques of the Z warriors, so he came to learn several of these techniques like the Kamehameha, the most difficult being teleportation, Bardock's energy cannon among others like Vegeta's self-destruction. 5 years. The fifth year was one in which Bardock told him the materials of his armor aside from the tracker on how it was made. Ever since Dark died, Izuku has a red scarf like Bardock's tied on his forehead. Avi. Hey Izuku, it's weird seeing you here in the lab. Izuku. Yes I know but I need some materials. Avi. 4. Izuku. It's that they can form a very resistant armor even for a blow from All Might. Avi. Then tell me the materials. Izuku gave him a list. Avi. It will be a little difficult to get, but I will do it. Melissa. Hello Izuku. Izuku. Hi Melissa, I was just looking for you. Melissa. What for? Izuku. I just came up with a tool that is really good. Melissa. Seriously, come on. The two began to work for a while to end up making a tracker. Apart from that Izuku was able to make an armor just like Bardock's. During that year he also trained. Avi. Is this the armor? Izuku. Yes. Izuku takes a knife that Melissa and Davi see as he tries to break the armor, but nothing happens, not even shooting at him. Avi. It's very hard. Izuku. Aside from being comfortable. He said this, showing how he stretches it as if it were nothing. 6 years. The 6th year Izuku learned how to use the Azeru form, although at first he lost a little control, but as time went by, he learned how to handle it apart from fighting in that form, but he had great improvements when learning how to use the power of his Azeru form, while in his normal form like Broly from the movie, although that year he had to say goodbye to Bardock. Izuku, are you leaving already? Bardock, I'm afraid so. It begins to disappear. Bardock, get strong. Izuku, I will. Bardock, you're a man now. Izuku gave a slight smile barely noticeable, but a single tear was seen. Bardock, you're not anymore because of that tear. Izuku, damn. After that day it's been so long since he smiled so he could continue with his serious look. 7 years. The 7th year he already left the island. Avi, I hope everything is going well for you Izuku. Izuku, thanks David. Avi, I left you a house with all the things you need, apart from the fact that I will send you money from time to time and you will be able to enter the UA. Izuku, I don't know how I can repay you for all this. Avi, just be a great hero. Izuku, I will be. At that Melissa hugs him. Melissa, I'll come visit you one of these days. After that he left the island. Chapter 4. After years of Izuku's training passed, apart from him saying goodbye to Davi and Melissa to arrive at a house where he found a training room among other things, years passed for Izuku to continue his training with which he became stronger, apart from having some calls from Melissa, with whom he spoke until the expected day arrived. Izuku, the day has finally arrived. The boy went to the UA test where he caught the attention of the girls. Girl. Look, she'll take the UA tests. Girl. I hope to be in your class. I get to a part where an explanation is being given until someone interrupts present might. Lita. If they don't take you seriously, then leave. At that Izuku who was next to him takes him by the shoulder to lower him almost leaving him on the floor. Lita. What's wrong? Izuku. Shut up, I want to hear the rest of the explanation. Lita saw an aura of the boy being somewhat afraid of him, so she listened to him. Present might. Okay, let's continue. The explanation continued until they went to the robots part. Present might. What are you waiting for? Before Izuku finished, he entered at one point to begin a massacre of robots, showing no mercy to any of them. Nezu. Looks like we have some really good students this year. Izawa. Yes, but don't you think we should let go? The director presses a button to make him well with Izuku. Izuku. How boring. And that he feels a tremor seeing a huge robot, but more importantly a girl who was among the rubble. Izuku. Seriously, no one's going to save her. At one point Izuku pulls the girl out of the rubble, leaving her blushing at Izuku's face as he looks at the robot. Izuku. Let's see how long it lasts. The boy with a Kai sphere threw it at the robot's head so that it would enter and the robot would explode. Izuku. Very easy. After that he left the place, days passed and a letter arrived to Izuku which he saw that he entered the UA, so he just waited for the day to go. When the day came it was in his car that in one way or another he learned to drive. When he arrived at UA everyone looked at the vehicle in which Izuku left which made the girls blush. They only saw the green-haired boy who had his red band tied around his head and with a scar on his left cheek being an X until he arrived at his class entering it taking all the looks so that he would just sit in a part where there was no one. Mina. More companions, let's welcome him. Mina approached him. Mina. Hi, I'm Mina. Izuku. I don't care. That left everyone in shock, but they noticed how he had a somewhat angry look with great seriousness, scaring them a little making them move away from him, but what they didn't notice is that he looked at a green-haired girl who didn't notice the boy. Izumi, hello Kachin. Bakugo. Lose yourself. Uraraka. You're the boy who saved me from being crushed. He approached Izuku causing almost everyone to see them. Izuku. I only saved you because I didn't feel like seeing a dead person. Uraraka. We can be friends. Izuku. I came to be a hero, not to make friends. Hiroshima. Come on, don't take it that way. Izuku. Answer this question. In a building that is burning there are children and old people, who will save you? That left everyone in shock because of the question that no one could answer. Izawa. Good question kid, you're right they don't come to make friends, but if they came for that then go somewhere else. Like the original story, everyone would go outside to see Mineta lying on the floor all beaten up. Momo. What happened? Hiroshima. Well. Flashback. You see everyone changing. Lie. Guys, there's a hole where we can see the girls. He runs away but accidentally steps on Izuku's tail of her causing him to look at him. Mineta. I'm sorry. He said this as Izuku's shadow completely covered him. End of flashback. In that they saw Izuku who had his tail apart from that red band. Izawa. Well, Izuku, how much was your throwing score? Izuku. I never did. Izawa. Then throw this bowl inside that circle. Izuku did as requested, covering 500 kilometers, shocking everyone. Izawa. Okay, now with your quirk. The boy did as requested and covered 15,657 kilometers. Mina. This will be fun. Izawa. How funny, whoever comes in last will be expelled. The tests would begin with running, jumping, and pressure strength in which Izuku would end up standing out in each of these, with Mineta coming last. Izawa. By the way, the expulsion thing was a joke. All that. Izuku. It was obvious, don't be so stupid. Izuku has an attitude similar to Bardock's. When everyone left they saw that Izuku got into his car, leaving them surprised by this. Chapter 5. After Izuku passed Izawa's test, apart from leaving UA, days would pass in which he noticed that his ex-sister was always looking at him and that he stayed away from his classmates until one day All Might entered his classroom. All Might. Everyone has to put on some outfits that they ask the UA for. Pulling out a box getting everyone excited so they just put on their suits. All Might. They're all here. Uraraka. No, Izuku is missing. Izuku. I'm here. Everyone saw his suit. The girls blushed more at seeing Izuku's well-formed physique, while the boys felt humiliated by him. Momo. You told the UA about this. Izuku. Tell them what? I made this costume myself. That surprised everyone. Jiru. Because only one lens. Izuku. That's none of your business. 15. All Might. Okay everyone, they will do a test of teams of 2 people, one team will be the villains and the other the heroes. For the heroes to win they have to touch the bomb or leave all the villains without moving, while the villains have to prevent them from touching the bomb, and to win they have to defeat the heroes. The teams would be like the original story, except one that would be Izuku and Momo as heroes against Todoroki and Aoyama as villains until it was their turn. Izuku. Hey Momo, put this on. He gives her tracker and she puts it on. Izuku. Now give me your hand. The brunette listens to him so that he can press a button and see through the building, seeing Todoroki and Aoyama apart from the bomb. Izuku. That will help you go for the bomb, I'll take care of the other 2. Momo. Yes. When they entered, the brunette began to run with Izuku to a place. Momo. They're about to go down the stairs. Izuku. Go ahead, I'll take care of it. Momo just listened to him while the cameras could see everything. Mina. It seems like Momo knows where the bomb is. Shoji. But, Izuku is going to fight against them 2 alone. At the place Aoyama only took a few steps to be in front. Aoyama. It will be quick. He said this as he launched a ray from his navel at Izuku, hitting him, creating a curtain of dust, but when he left, Izuku could be seen without a scratch. Aoyama. But what? Izuku. Pathetic. Todoroki threw ice at him which covered his entire body, but little by little the ice began to break. Izuku. Don't tell me that's all you have. Todoroki. Damn. I send ice up, freezing the entire top of the building, causing Momo to have ice up to her waist and about to touch the bomb. Izuku. They won't win. Todoroki threw more ice, but Izuku broke it with one movement, as if it were nothing. Izuku. My turn. In a second he appeared in front of Aoyama to hit him which caused the boy to fall unconscious to the floor, but Todoroki tried to hit him with his ice, but Izuku in a single movement left him lying on the floor out of combat so that he could go to where Momo is. Momo. Now you're going to touch the bomb. Izuku only broke the ice to carry Momo in a bridal manner. Izuku. I said touch the bomb. The boy brought her closer so that she could touch the bomb, which would be lowered so that she could be taken to where the others were. Izuku. Can you give me my tracker? Momo only takes it out to give heat. Mina. That was impressive. Izuku. Obviously yes, I am the strongest, but what mattered most was Momo. Momo. Me. Why? Izuku. Todoroki was still conscious, if you didn't touch the bomb we weren't going to win. Mineta. But you could touch the bomb. Izuku. And she was the one in charge of doing it. After that everyone was leaving, but they noticed that it was raining, so they all took out their umbrellas, while Momo just stood there. Mina. Momo, is something wrong? Momo. No, it's that my limousine had an accident. Jiru. Do you want to come to our houses? Momo. It's just that the rain isn't going to stop until tomorrow and my parents won't let me. At that a car pulled up in front of the girls so that the door opened revealing Izuku. Izuku. I'll take you. The girls were impressed because Izuku didn't show that behavior, but Momo reacted. Momo. Yes, thank you. With that, he got into the car so Izuku could start driving. Momo. Thank you. Izuku. No need, I just did what a partner would do for his partner. Momo. And your parents let you take whoever you want in your car or they lend it to you. Izuku. I don't have parents, they died for me. The girl didn't quite understand that, but she just didn't say anything and looked back where she saw Izuku's hero clothes, but something she saw was a photo of a boy and him with a dog, surprising the girl, because in the photo Izuku had a big smile, but Izuku realized that the brunette saw the photo. Izuku, don't try to ask about the photo. Momo just listened to them until they got home, seeing a mansion where she left the brunette. Chapter 6. After All Might's test where Izuku and Momo's group was the winner, when everyone left Izuku took Momo to his house. The next day there were reporters asking about All Might, but when Izuku passed by, he just ignored them to get to his class where he sat alone, but a certain brunette approached him. Izuku, what do you want? Momo, nothing, I just want to try to make a friend. Izuku, we will be nothing. Everyone was surprised by the brunette's bravery, because naturally Izuku didn't have much patience, so with a little of his power, he sent them all flying. Momo, at least let me try. Izuku, you're not going to get anything. Momo, let's go. He began to touch Izuku until he grabbed his tail with a little force, and since the boy was not paying attention, he got a chill and ended up with his forehead on the desk. Momo, what's wrong? But that he lets go of his tail and Izuku stands up. Izuku, don't touch my tail again. The brunette understood. Momo, forgive me. Izuku, no. Momo, forgive me. Izuku, are you going to continue like this? Momo, forgive me. It was like that until Izawa came in. Izawa, everyone has to elect a class president. Chaos didn't take long to come, but Izuku got tired because of it. Izuku, enough. Everyone sat down in fear. Izuku, don't be animals and do things in a civilized way like voting. The votes were made to end with Izumi as the president and Momo as vice president. Izawa, okay, everyone go eat. They all went to eat, but as always Izuku had a lot of food, but they saw how Momo approached him to sit next to Izuku. Izuku, seriously, you won't get anything. Momo, I promised myself I would make you smile. Izuku, I lost my smile years ago. Momo, then I'll make sure you have it again. At that point the alarm sounded, causing everyone to start creating chaos. Izuku, nothing good will happen this way. He appeared in front of everyone to make a move. But that he stopped everyone who looked at Izuku. Izuku, you can all stay still now, can't you see through the windows that they are the reporters? Everyone saw that and calmed down, so that Izuku would let them go. Izuku, and they're supposed to be future heroes. I left the place to go into the living room. Izumi, I want to leave Izuku as the new class president. This impressed everyone so much that he stood at the front of the class. Izuku, the first one who dares to bother me for anything I'll send them flying, but they're sorry if it's for a problem. That made them all sweat. Izawa, tomorrow we will go to USJ. The next day everyone went to the USJ, but it was going to take a while because they were on the bus, but obviously a brunette wouldn't leave the green-haired girl alone. Mina, hey Izuku, what's your quirk? Izuku, I'm a Saiyan. Haminari, what is that? Izuku, a Saiyan is someone who only prepares for fights, they are the strongest warriors. Hiroshima, if they are the strongest, they have rules. Izuku, yes, 1 never touch a Saiyan's food, 2 never dare make a Saiyan angry, 3 never get into a Saiyan's fight, and 4 never touch a Saiyan's wife. That made everyone take note, although they hadn't imagined the food part until they arrived at USJ. Chapter 7. After they elected the class president and on the way to the USJ everyone was talking although they took notes from Izuku's information until they arrived at the USJ, where they entered to see that it was a great place apart from seeing the 13th hero, where he would talk to Izawa. Momo, is something wrong Izuku? I noticed the boy was looking at the center of the place. Izuku, something's coming over there. Momo took the tracker to see that energy was beginning to concentrate at that point. Momo, what's wrong? The portal was formed through which villains appeared. Izawa, 13 get the students out of here. Everyone started running except Izuku, but before they could speak to him Kurogiri appeared in front of them. Kurogiri, we are the League of Villains and we came too. And that he received a blow sending him flying being Izuku. 15. Izuku, nobody cares, Lee to use your speed and go get the teachers. Momo, what will you do? Izuku, a Saiyan never runs away from a fight. 11. They saw how he jumped against the villains to hit one, followed by kicking another to grab one, and start using him as a mallet against the other villains to throw him away. Izuku, they're not even good for warming up. Tamura, interesting this kid is. Izuku watched as a thing called Nomu tortured Izawa. Tamura, Nomu, take care of him. The Nomu went against Izuku, who only went against the Nomu so that they would clash fists, but this made the Nomu step back so that he would receive a blow that made him rise into the air so that he would be sent crashing against the ground, but when he was getting up, he received a kick in the face so that he would be sent flying. Izuku, you're good for nothing. The Nomu got up to go against Izuku again, clashing fists again, but this time the Nomu withstood the impact so they could start clashing fists, but something the class noticed was that the Nomu was beginning to gain ground, sending Izuku flying. The Nomu went against Izuku, but he came out of the rubble. Izuku. Energy cannon. He launched the attack, destroying a part of the Nomu, but it got up so that the destroyed part returned to normal. Tamura. No matter what you do, the more damage my Nomu takes, the stronger it is. Izuku. In that case I'll have to go with greater strength, Kaioken X10. The red aura covered Izuku so that he would go against the Nomu and begin to hit him, sending him flying to prepare a Kai attack, but when he was going to launch it, a portal was generated in front of him so that the Kai attack would hit above, causing the ceiling to fall. But before he could do anything, he received a blow that sent him flying so that they would grab him by the foot to begin to slam him against the floor so that the Nomu would lift him up, and instead of hitting him against the floor, he hit him with his knee, causing Izuku to scream in pain in front of his companion's ears. Izuku. Don't think that's all. His eyes changed to green with a slight yellow glow as he kicked the Nomu. Izuku. I'll finish you off. The Nomu and Izuku began to bump fists, making waves of wind, causing everyone to cover themselves, but the Nomu took ground to hit Izuku in the face so that he received another and another until he ended up lying on the floor so that the Nomu began to step on his head, putting pressure, causing Izuku to start screaming in pain, but a brunette ran away. Momo. Leave Izuku alone. When she was close, the Nomu hit her so hard that she crashed into a wall, falling unconscious. Izuku. Momo. The Nomu kicked his foot out of Izuku's face to let out a scream that scared the class. Izuku. I'm embarrassed. Tamura. You're still conscious. Izuku. If only I had a little more power. He said this to bang his head against the floor, remembering when his dog died. Izuku. At that time. He hit his head again, remembering when his friend was killed. Izuku. And at that time too. I hit the ground. While the clouds turned black and lightning and thunder began to appear, falling near Izuku, he got up and began to increase his power, while clenching his fists to the point that blood came out and his hair changed slightly to blonde as he stood up to see Momo and then the Nomu and Tamura. Izuku. I will finish you. Tamura. That you finished me off, good joke. Everyone was surprised by this, even the villains. Lita. What happened to him? Todoroki. I don't know, but even for him it's something new. Everyone looked at Izuku, who was looking at himself. Tamura. What does that matter, you just changed your hair, that's all. 20. Izuku. I don't know what happened to me, but I know that with this I will finish you. I look at the villains to start walking against them, but some villains launched some attacks that made a huge explosion. Tamura. It just changed a little, nothing more. What? Tamura. Nomu finishes him off. The Nomu went against Izuku trying to hit him, but Izuku took his fist from him, followed by another one that tried to hit him. Tamura. What are you? Izuku. I'm a Saiyan. I stare into the eyes of the Nomu, who was clearly very afraid. Tamura. A Saiyan. Also with fear. Izuku. Are you ready? Izuku lifted the Nomu to slam it twice against the ground to send it flying, but it appeared above him to grab its head and crash it into the ground, followed by taking it by the foot to start spinning to throw it away, followed by giving it a kick that raised it into the air, but before it could do anything, Izuku threw an energy cannon at it, causing it to fly out of the USJ. Tamura. It's impossible, impossible. Izuku. How long will you keep saying stupid things, you better keep calling me captain. He said this by making a Kai sphere in one of his hands, scaring all the villains, followed by the doors flying off, revealing the teachers. Kurigiri. We have to go. But the portal he took him out of the place. Izuku looked where Momo was to be in front of him to kneel at his height. Izuku. Momo, are you okay? Momo just put on a smile. Momo. You said we weren't going to get anywhere. Izuku. You're okay. Chapter 8. After Class 1 arrived at the USJ, where they were attacked only for Izuku to awaken a new power, apart from the fact that he defeated the villains, you can see Class 1, which was almost everyone in the classroom except Izuku and Izawa. Mina. I don't think they'll come. Haminari. After what happened to them at the USJ, it won't be like that. Mineta. I'll be brave once in my life and be a man. Hiroshima. And how do you plan to do that? Mineta. I'm going to sit in Izuku's place. He said this while looking at Izuku's place, but a certain depressed brunette started walking to the place, but a bandaged Izuku entered through the door, scaring Mineta. Izuku. What do you think you're doing? Mineta. Nothing. He said this as he ran to his seat. Hiroshima. Even though he's hurt, he comes back as if nothing happened. He's a real man. I'd like him to train me. Izuku. If you want that, stop crying. Hiroshima did as requested so Izuku could sit in his place. Momo. Looks like someone's feeling better. Izuku. Obviously yes. Lita. That's worthy of the president. Izuku. Better call me captain. 11. At that moment Izawa entered. Izawa. We were all attacked by the League of Villains, but that won't stop us from our sports festival. Everyone started celebrating what was said except for one green-haired guy. Momo. That doesn't excite you? Izuku. I don't care, I know I'm going to win. When everyone came out they saw Class 1B. Sato. What are they doing? Bakugo. They look at the enemy. At that moment some people approach, so Izuku, with Momo behind him, walks in front of them. Earl. Hello, I'm Kendo, the president of Class 1B. They are Monoma, Tesu and Shinso. Izuku. This is Momo, my lieutenant, and you better address me as captain. Shinso. A lot of arrogance, but at least it has an explanation. Tesu. What are you talking about, just look at how he wouldn't last a moment with me. Shinso. I'm talking about rumors that the president of Class 1 alone with Professor Izawa faced the entire League of Villains and won, although the president faced the strongest of the villains, and his bandages prove the truth. Kendo. It's good to have such a partner. Monoma. How stupid, surely that villain was so weak just looking at his dear captain. Kendo was about to hit him but. Izuku. I'll get out of my way. He hits Monoma in the chin, causing him to fly away and spin around several times before ending up on a wall. Tesu. Damn. He went into his tough form to try to hit him, but received a blow to the face that knocked him to the ground, noticing that his face cracked. Kendo. How? Izuku. You're going to keep going my way or I'll have to send more students to the hospital. Everyone stepped aside for him to start walking, followed by the rest of the class. When Izuku got to his car, he got into the vehicle ready to leave, but someone knocked on the passenger side of his car window, so he rolled down the window. Izuku. Did something happen? Momo. Hi, I wanted to ask you a little question. Izuku. Do it. Momo. Can you train me? Izuku. Do your parents allow you? Momo. Yes. Izuku. Okay, come in. 11. The girl gets in to start driving until she reaches Momo's house where she is looking for her things, although Izuku toughens the looks of her parents. Momo. So you are the boy my daughter told us about. Momo. He looks strong, but it leaves me with a doubt, how much of a man are you? Izuku. It's been years since I smiled or shed a tear. Momo. If you get my daughter pregnant, would you take care of it? Momo just arrived. Momo. Dad. Izuku. Obviously yes. Momo. You will have a little of my trust. The two of them left to go to Izuku's house of Ella, where they left Momo's things of Ella in her own room of Ella, so she could see the whole place where she saw Izuku's things of Ella, with his photos of Melissa and Davi. Momo. Who are they? Izuku. They are the people who helped me and prevented me from falling into darkness, they are good people. Momo. Is she your girlfriend? Izuku. No, she's a friend. The brunette doesn't know why she felt good about this. Chapter 9. After the sports festival was announced, everyone went to prepare, having a month of training, although Izuku agreed to train Momo, letting him live at her house for that month so that they could see the two of them in their training clothes and walk to apart from the place. Momo. Where are we going? Izuku. Let's go train. They entered a room where the brunette did not see any training machines, so she closed the door. Momo. What is this place? Izuku. It's a training room that I made with Melissa and Davi, although it cost us a bit. Momo. And what does it do? Izuku. It's a gravity room, I'll increase the gravity to train. She watched as he touched some buttons to make the girl feel heavier. Momo. What's wrong with me? Izuku. It's gravity, I got used to this gravity a long time ago. Momo. I can't move. Izuku. That's the idea, you're going to train with this gravity until you get used to it. Momo. I'm going to die before the month is over. From that time Momo's training began in which she practiced her creation, while also fighting against Izuku, trying to hit him apart from being able to increase gravity, making great progress being something quite good for the girl, while Izuku in his training, made great progress for him to notice something, one day of the month almost ending. Izuku. You're making great progress. Momo. Really? Izuku. Yes, your power increased. Momo. How much? Izuku. You had a power of 105 using your creation, but now without using your creation the power is 120 using your creation 245 with all your power. Momo. And that's good. Izuku. Yes, you are stronger than some of the class. Momo. Hey Izuku, why the red band and that scar on your face? Izuku. I think I can trust you. Momo. How? Izuku. My best friend was called Dark, he's the boy in the photo. Shortly before he died some kids killed our dog so that a few days would pass and a villain wanted to kill us, but before he killed me, Dark pushed me causing me to only get this cut on my face. Before I left my friend gave me a white band which was dyed red by his blood. Momo. I'm so sorry. Izuku. It's okay, what happened happened. Momo gives a few small laughs. Izuku. And those laughs. Momo. You said we wouldn't get anywhere, but look at us now. Izuku. I think you're right. The remaining days were spent only talking to each other at Momo's request that Izuku left with her until the day of the sports festival arrived. Chapter 10. After Izuku took Momo to train until the days of the month passed for them to go to the sports festival, finding themselves in the locker room, Izuku being the only one alone until he noticed how Todoroki approached Izumi. Todoroki. I don't know why but you have a relationship with All Might, rest assured that I will beat you. After that he approached Izuku. Todoroki. You are the strongest, I will beat you too. Izuku. Just try to give me some fight, you understand. When they finished talking, everyone went outside to see all the people who were there. Midnight. The one giving a speech this year will be Izuku from class 1A. At that point Izuku walked in front of everyone. Izuku. I'll just tell you this, do your best because I want at least some of you to be useful for something other than warming up. He would start to receive some boos, but this did not matter to him going down. Lita. You didn't have to do that. He was silenced because Izuku grabbed them by the shirt, lifting them up. Izuku. Don't bother your captain. He let go of him, causing him to fall to the floor. Midnight. The first round will be of the race. Everyone would get ready to run, but as soon as the bell ranged, Todoroki froze the entrance, but through the door came out those from the original story apart from Izuku who caught up with Todoroki. Izuku. A good start but not enough. Todoroki was about to throw ice at Izuku, but they saw 0-point robots. Izuku. Something fun. Izuku would start destroying the robots as he passed by like nothing, while Todoroki would be freezing those passing by until they saw a drop. Todoroki. I think we say goodbye here. He starts making ice as he passed by the place, but saw Izuku winged next to him. Izuku. It seems you forgot that I can fly. The two of them would pass by so they could start running until Lita passed by their side. Lita. They are very slow. He fell when he touched an explosive that sent him flying. Izuku. Now we really say goodbye. He said this to start running, but stepping on the explosives which did not do any harm to the boy, surprising everyone because nothing happened to Izuku who went through all the explosions, but Todoroki began to be by his side while Bakugo approached him. Bakugo. Damn, you won't beat me. Bakugo would try to launch an explosion at him, but it was blocked by Izuku as if nothing were wrong, but something caught the attention of the three boys, seeing a huge explosion in the background to see Izumi who was going towards them, so they started to run because of this, but when Izumi exploded in front of him, Bakugo and Todoroki tried to attack her, but she used the robot part to be propelled through the entrance followed by Izuku and then Todoroki. Izuku. I didn't think this would happen, but oh well, I'm going to do it. I don't feel like saying the cavalry part, so it would be like the original story with the only difference that Zero wouldn't be in Bakugo's group, but Izuku would. Chapter 11. After the first and second stages of the sports festival passed, they would move on to the third where the fights would take place, but before that, there would be some time left so they could rest, so they would go to eat, but Izuku would be called by Todoroki to an alley. Izuku. What do you want? Todoroki. Captain, I will beat you in this fight without using my father's part. Izuku. Look Todoroki, I understand you, but that's your power, not your father's. Besides, if you only use half of your power then I'll use half of my power. Todoroki. How can I make you use all your power? Izuku. If you bring out your full power. After that he left to see his class where the girls were surrounding Momo. Mina. Momo, a rumor spread that you were at Izuku's house. Jiru. How is it? Izuku gave little importance to going to the festival where he arrived to see the whole place only for the fight between Izumi and Shinso to happen, followed by his and Todoroki's turn. Endeavor. Hey kid, I hope you can bring out my son's full power. Izuku. First you better call me captain, and second he will bring out all his power if he wants. Present might. On one hand we have the cold of class 1A, it's ice pillar Todoroki, and on the other hand, we have a student who is said to be the strongest in class 1A, it's Captain Izuku. The two of them climbed up while receiving shouts that it would be a good fight. Midnight. Begin. Todoroki would throw a large amount of ice that was destroyed by Izuku, as if it were nothing, so that a Vi color would appear in front of him, hitting him in the stomach, almost knocking him off the platform. Izuku. Come on, show me your full power. Todoroki. Never. He threw more ice at him, which Izuku only destroyed as if it were nothing in front of everyone else, so Todoroki only approached him to freeze his body, but in a second the ice broke. Todoroki. How? He hit him in the face so hard that he flew away. Izuku. Once a technique is used on me it no longer works. Todoroki just looked at him wondering what to do. Izuku. We're all doing our best, so I'll show you my best. At that her hair began to turn blonde while a golden aura appeared before everyone. Izuku. This is the Super Saiyan. He went to be behind Todoroki, leaving him impressed, but when he was going to hit Todoroki on the left side, fire came out that made Izuku move away. Todoroki. You want to see my full power, you will see. At that point he would begin to throw fire that Izuku dodged, as if it were nothing in front of everyone who couldn't believe how the boy did it, as if it were nothing, so that Izuku would look at Todoroki who had a sadistic smile to continue attacking Izuku who was fine with it, so that he would appear in front of Todoroki to give him a blow that pushed him away. Izuku. Come on, do something better. Todoroki touched him to freeze him inside and start throwing fire, making him scream in pain. Izuku. Damn, you freeze me inside my body, but this was what I wanted to see from you. Todoroki would put his hands together to begin making his two sides begin to appear, while Izuku prepared a Kai attack to counter Todoroki's. Izuku. Kamehameha. But that the two attacks went against each other, although Midnight along with Cementos tried to stop them, but their attacks were too much for them to end up colliding between the two, making a huge explosion that created a cloud of dust, but when he left Izuku was seen as the winner, so he returned to the stands. Momo. Don't you think you went too far? Izuku. I just wanted to see Todoroki's power. In that, like the original story, Monoma would try to make fun of Class 1, but Izuku's fist went through the wall hitting him in the stomach, sending him flying. Izuku. Stop bothering me. Chapter 12. After the fight that Todoroki and Izuku had, everyone was waiting for another fight like this until they went to the next round, in which they had to see how it became Izumi and Izuku against each other, while in a house a green-haired woman was crying to see her son again. Izumi. I will defeat you. Izuku. Just help me, Todoroki made me bring out my power, and I want to see you do something to me. Midnight. Begin. Izumi ran to Izuku to fight him, trying to hit him, but he stopped his blow, but that's why he was sent back by force. Izuku. How? Look, Izumi's hand was already somewhat damaged. Izuku. It seems that quirk hurts you. Izumi just throws a fireball at him, but Izuku extends his hand to make the fireball go away with his hand. Izuku. That's all. Izumi only lifted some stones that were rubble to throw at Izuku, but he didn't flinch. Izuku. You think that's power? Izumi. I already told you, I will win. The girl went against Izuku to hit him, but when she hit him Izuku blocked it with the palm of his hand, but noticed that Izuku didn't move. Izumi. How come I don't do anything to you? Izuku. You'll never be able to beat a Saiyan. The boy hits her so hard that Izumi covers herself, ending up flying away because of this, but she was able to recover in front of everyone's eyes. Izuku. Come on, do something better. The girl was getting angry and angry, so she went against Izuku with all her might to smash him with all her strength. Izuku. It seems you're going all out, Kaioken X5. The red aura was present so that they could clash fists, creating a huge current of wind that formed a small crater, but Izumi was the one who ended up moving away because of this. Izuku. Come on, do your best. Izumi had her left arm broken, but she went against Izuku to hit him, but when Izuku was going to hit her Izumi went down to make a fireball that hit Izumi burning him, but when the dust went away, they saw that part of his shirt was torn only that revealing his well-formed physique, being the envy of men and sensuality for women. Izuku. I've taken better attacks than that. Izumi. I don't care, I'll beat you. The girl would try to hit him again, but Izuku grabbed her by the arm to throw her away so that she would get off the platform, but the girl was able to avoid it so that she would go against Izuku, against whom she tried to hit him again with her remaining arm, the same thing happening with a clash of fists that threw Izumi to the ground. Leaving her with both arms broken, but she got up with difficulty to start walking against Izuku. Midnight. I better stop her. The woman began to launch her gas, but it never arrived because of a wind wave from Izuku, but when Cementos tried to do something Izuku destroyed her attempt to separate them. Izuku. Don't intervene or they'll fight me. Izumi. I must win this fight. When he was in front of Izuku he only tried to hurt him with a headbutt against his chest. Izuku. Even though you are hurt, you can't move, you can't do anything, you keep fighting to make your mother proud, and for that you get my respect. Those words shocked everyone so much that Izuku punched her in the stomach, causing the girl to fall to the floor and become unconscious. Present might. The winner is Izuku. Izuku just went to the stands. Kirishima. Hey Izuku, do you respect anyone else? Izuku. Yes. Jiru. To whom? Izuku. One was a man who helped me in the past along with his daughter, while the other was the one who made me a man. Mina. Hey Momo, how come you only made it to the second round? Momo. I asked Izuku for help training me. That shocked everyone. Chapter 13. After the second round of the sports festival, everyone was eagerly awaiting the third and final round because the strongest of the festival were going to fight apart from Todoroki, being ready to see how this fight was going to be until they saw two people passing through each door. Present might. The last fight of the strongest, on one hand the explosive side of Class 1, as well as his temperament Bakugo, while on the other hand the pride that he has shown until now, not having any rival in combat, and they better call him Captain Izuku. The two of them went up while looking at each other. Midnight. Okay everyone, begin. Hearing that, everyone shouted with joy while Bakugo went towards Izuku to hit him, but Izuku dodged him to hit him. Bakugo. Come on, show me that power. He tried to use some explosions, but Izuku dodged them. Bakugo. Use the power you possess. He said it to hit him in the face, but he received a blow that sent him flying. Bakugo. Show it. Izuku. What if I show you something better? Bakugo. Better. Izuku. Something that surpasses the Super Saiyan. Bakugo. Just do it. Izuku. As you wish. Izuku would start screaming while everything shook, making everyone wonder what was happening, but they saw how Izuku broke on his feet while he stopped screaming, while a golden aura could be seen while rays came out of him. Bakugo. What did you do? Izuku. This is Super Saiyan 2. At that point, things were back to normal. Bakugo. Why did you go back to normal? Izuku. Just so you know, when I fought Todoroki I only transformed so he could bring out his full power, so I held him back in combat. Bakugo. Don't underestimate me. He went against Izuku trying to give him an explosion, but it was dodged by Izuku, but in a movement he tricked him into starting to give him explosions in his eyes, causing him to take a few steps back while he took his eyes, but Bakugo did not stop, so he would start to spin, having Izuku in the middle while sending explosions, causing him to cover himself with all this until he got tired. Izuku. Enough already. He shouted while spreading his arms out to his sides, creating a current of air pushing Bakugo away, who looked at him, so he would receive a blow to the stomach, knocking all the air out of him while holding his belly. Bakugo. Damn. Izuku. You made me angry. He kicks him, sending him flying, but when Bakugo went against Izuku to give him explosions, he ended up with a kick that moved him away, so that he received a hit in the face, but Bakugo got up to extend his two arms to Izuku, who prepared an attack. Izuku. Big bang attack. Obviously it's contained. The attack collided with Bakugo's explosions, creating a cloud of dust, but Bakugo was seen lying on the floor unconscious, but Izuku standing before everyone's eyes, making it clear that he is number one. After that the prizes were given for the places, with Izuku being first place, Bakugo second and Momo third. Chapter 14 OVA. This cap is from the Boku no Hero movie. After the sports festival, a little before the internships, you could see a green-haired girl on a plane, and next to her a totally skinny blonde who looked out the window at an island they were going to. Izumi. All Might, why are we here? All Might. We came to see an old friend. When they arrived they began to walk around the place, but they saw a blonde going to where they were. Melissa. Uncle All. The girl hugged All Might. All Might, young Izumi, she's like a family member to me, Melissa. Melissa, seeing her, couldn't help but remember Izuku when she met him. Izumi. Hello. Melissa. Hi, I'm Melissa. At that, All Might leaves while the girls walked until, like the original story, they found the other girls, although Momo recognized her although she didn't say anything. Melissa. One question, are you UA students? Jiru. Yes, why? At that point they would hear something in the distance. Melissa. Come on, this is good. The girls ran until they reached a place where they saw Kirishima on some rocks. Uraraka. Hey Kirishima, what are you doing here? Kirishima. Bakugo was offered the chance to come and bring a friend, and Shoto is here too. And that they see how Bakugo is destroying robots until he is finished. Presenter. What a surprise, after years someone finally managed to break the champion's record. Remember that Mark can participate. As the original story was Izumi, so that she ended up destroying the robots, and then Todoroki being the one who broke the score of the previous champion. Bakugo. How dare you pass me? Jiru. Anyway, shall we go? Announcer. Before anyone goes to their fate today, just today when they broke the previous champion's score, our champion came back to show his power once again. Bakugo. It doesn't matter, he won't beat us. Announcer. Izuku the champion who will defend his title from him. The entire class minus Melissa turned to see Izuku walking as he broke all the ice. Presenter. Begin. Before a second passed, Izuku was already at the abyss. Presenter. As always, the champion remains undefeated. At that Izuku noticed Melissa stop for a second and appear behind her, putting a hand on her head so that she would turn around and end up hugging him. Melissa. I knew you were coming back. Izuku. Yes, I promised, genius. Jiru. Do you know her? Izuku. I spent almost my entire childhood until I was 11 years old. I lived in this place apart from that she and her father helped me make my tracker and my suit. Melissa. I was also able to analyze the sample you brought me and we created the machine you asked for. Izuku. Thank you very much. And that they walked passing like the original story of the part of Mienta and Kaminari until without anyone noticing Melissa took Momo to a part where no one would hear them. Momo. Why did you bring me? Melissa. I just wanted to know, how do you feel about Izuku? Momo. Melissa, I don't feel anything. Melissa. Not while, I noticed the looks you gave when you saw me with Izuku. Momo. Well, you discovered me, I love him. That happened when we fought together in one of the tests. Melissa. Great, now I have a rival. Momo. What do you mean? Melissa. I love him too, but none of us know how he feels about us. Izuku. What happened to me? The two girls got nervous for Izuku. Momo. How do you know we're talking about you? Izuku. I didn't know, I just guessed, let's go anyway. They all went home while Momo thought about Melissa's words until night came where everyone went to a place where they met but two girls. When they saw Izuku in a black tuxedo with a white shirt underneath, they blushed. Just like the original story, the villains would take control of the place, so like the original story everyone would look at the robots. Lita. Kaminari, are you ready? Kaminari. Yes. And that he threw Kaminari so that it would happen like the original story, making him look stupid, but before the robots had them, a Kai sphere sent them flying. Izuku. Let's go. They all ran until they reached a part where there were two villains passing by like the original story, until they reached a part where everyone saw the robots. Momo. Izuku, go with Melissa. Izuku. But Momo with noticeable concern. Momo. Just do it. The boy listened to him so that he could run with Melissa until they reached a place. Izuku. Melissa, get on my back. The girl listened to him so they went to a door where they entered to run until they found the villain who controls the metal, happening like the original story. Izuku. I don't care that you do that for a simple invention, but you've messed with mine. Izuku in a second gave a blow to the villain which caused pieces of metal to crush Izuku which began to destroy him, but he saw how the villain made him not let him move, but when he saw how the villain hit Melissa, that made him activate the Super Saiyan, breaking the metal to go against the villain, but he was already gone. Izuku. Melissa, go find the others, I'll go get Davi. In a second, Izuku appeared where the villain was, watching him leave. Izuku. You made a mistake. He said this as he began to fly to go against the villain, but All Might appeared saving Davi in time. Davi. All Might, Izuku. All Might. Dude, it's all over now. And that Izuku dodges a piece of metal that hits All Might to see the villain who took Davi. Villain. This power is so cool. Izuku. Let go of Davi. He said this as he went against the villain in Super Saiyan, just like All Might went against the villain to end this, but he gave Izuku some pieces of metal, followed by taking All Might with some pieces of metal, so that he would leave them both crushed, so that they would begin to be crushed before the eyes of Class 1A. Momo. Melissa. Izuku. Inside the cube. Izuku. I hear the girls, I can't fall here. At that point I move on to phase 2, destroying the metal. Izuku. I don't plan on losing. Izuku, like All Might, who was freed by Izumi, began to go against the villain, also Izumi. The three of them ran, but they saw how he made a huge metal cube, a giant one, causing the three of them to see this, so Izumi and All Might would get ready to give their last blow, while Izuku prepared an attack. Izuku. Energy cannon. The three attacks collided with the cube which exploded to hit the villain who ended up unconscious and out of combat, and when the three were in different places, Izuku just sat watching the sun rise, but was hugged from behind. Momo. You made me very worried. Melissa. When we saw him crush you with that metal. Izuku. So if that did anything to me. Everyone started laughing as they stood behind Izuku. Kaminari. Whatever you say, Izuku. Mineta. We still saw that you were in trouble. Izuku. First they doubt me and don't call me captain. He looks at them so that the two of them got a chill and started running, while Izuku threw Kai spheres at them. Chapter 15. After what happened at the sports festival, apart from what happened on the island, now there was Izuku in his class while everyone was talking, although more of those who did not go to the island since they saw a new girl in the classroom being Melissa. Flashback. On the island. Avi. Hey Izuku, is it okay if Melissa comes to live with you and goes to UA? Izuku. You know I owe you a lot, this is little of what I can do for you. And that Melissa went to live in Izuku's house, and without anyone or Izuku himself knowing about it, something similar happened with Momo, being the one who went to live in his house, so he had to buy a car because the one he had was for 2 people. End of flashback. Everyone was talking until midnight arrived. Midnight. Students, you have to choose a hero name today, and you can change it whenever you want. Everyone would pass by until it was Izuku who was thinking which one. Izuku. My name will be Bardock. After that he went to sit down. Hiroshima. Why that name? Izuku. It's the name of the one who taught me to be a man. Hiroshima. I wish I could have met him. Izawa. Everyone will have to choose an internship. Each one would pass, although Izuku was the one who had the most, so he chose laser. The days passed until the expected one arrived, in which Izuku went to the agency where he saw a heroine who works on television, whose name I don't remember. Kendo. Izuku, what are you doing here? Izuku. I did it randomly. Momo. I don't think you would have chosen this. Izuku. You're right. Heroine. You know why I chose you? I chose you because all 3 of you are Hexy. Apart from being beautiful and handsome, you 2 will start to see my schedules and things. Well, you will be in charge of carrying the boxes. A while passed while Izuku was doing it, but he noticed some children who were on the street asking for something to eat, so he approached them. Child. Can you give us something to eat? Man. Look, they're just kids. The man was about to hit the children, but received a blow from Izuku that sent him flying. Izuku. Hey kids, do you want to go somewhere safe? The children said that, and Izuku gave a smile that calmed them, and just at the moment Momo looked at the smile on his face, so that Izuku took them to an orphanage without taking a second. Momo. I've never seen you smile. Izuku. It's the least I could do for those kids. Momo. Why did you do it? Izuku. They reminded me of myself. He said this to continue with the boxes, surprising Momo because she didn't know anything about before Izuku met Melissa. Night came and everyone was sleeping except Izuku, who woke up because he felt something. Izuku. What is this? He left the place to fly away until he reached an island where he saw a being with green skin and red hair. Izuku. Who are you? I am Bojack, the strongest warrior in the universe. Now that I am free, I can conquer the universe starting with this planet. Izuku. I don't think so. Izuku went against Bojack, hitting him in the face, but Bojack grabbed him by the arm and slammed him into the ground, followed by kicking him, but Izuku recovered and launched Kai spheres at Bojack, who dodged them to hit Izuku in the stomach, followed by a kick that sent him flying, so that he could throw some Kai spheres at him, which Izuku deflected. But Bojack was going to hit him, but received a blow that sent him away, seeing Izuku in Super Saiyan. Izuku. You're strong but not that much. Bojack would go against Izuku, with whom he would begin to have a fight of punches that they threw and blocked, but at one point, Bojack sent Izuku flying, causing him to crash into the floor, followed by receiving a Kai sphere, so he got up with difficulty, but Bojack grabbed him by the face to start dragging him across the floor, but at one point, Izuku managed to free himself. Izuku. Damn, this is getting out of control. Izuku went against Bojack, who saw this and prepared himself, but Izuku teleported behind him, giving him a kick, followed by appearing below him to start throwing Kai spheres at him that hit him squarely to hit him, concentrating all his strength in his fist, hitting him in the scar, causing some blood to come out, making Bojack angry, so he hit Izuku to grab him by the face to crash him against the floor. To throw him far away. Bojack. Damn, I'll kill you. I throw a Kai attack at him that hits him squarely, causing Izuku to fall to the ground. Bojack. What did you think of that? I noticed how he got up, but this time rays began to come out of him while his hair was spicier than before. Izuku. Let's see what you can do against Super Saiyan 2. Bojack. What does that matter? He started to laugh, but a punch from Izuku went through his stomach, causing his eyes to open, and when he pulled out his fist, he took a few steps back with some blood coming out of his mouth. Izuku. Don't tell me that hurt you. Bojack. Damn you, I'll kill you with this planet. He watched as he extended his 2 arms as a green light came out. Izuku. Then I want you to be able to handle this, final radiance. The 2 attacks collided, but the final glow was much stronger, taking place until it hit Bojack squarely, causing him to end up as dust, which is why Izuku teleported to the building where Momo saw him. Momo. Izuku, what happened to you? Izuku. Just a fight. The girl was in charge of bandaging Izuku. Chapter 16. After the internships, everyone returned to UA where they talked about what happened to them, but Momo noticed how Izuku had been very thoughtful since the day she sold him because he didn't say anything until Izawa arrived at the classroom that took them to a part where everyone saw the teachers. Izawa. This is a test where they will have to fight against the teachers. Everyone would be impressed except Izuku, passing as the original story of what happened was that Izuku didn't have a team. Momo. Sensei, Izuku doesn't have a team. Izawa. Because his test will be a little different. At that point all the teams passed until it was Izuku's turn who, when he entered the city, heard something. Present might. Izuku, since you are alone and you will face all the teachers, your time has no limits. Izuku just walked until he found all the teachers, but before he could do anything a building was about to fall on him. Nezu. You didn't think this through. The director fell because he had to get out because a Kai sphere hit the place. Izuku. They won't beat me. Present Might tried to scream at him, but Izuku held him back to give him a punch that sent him flying and crashing into a building while he was in Super Saiyan. Izuku. One less. Cements. But not all of them. Izuku saw how he sent some attacks that only with a few Kai spheres he destroyed, but he began to be attracted by something, well he looked at what was 13, for which he stayed in one part, avoiding being attracted more, but some bandages tied him up being Izawa only for cement to send him flying. Midnight. It's time to end this. Midnight sent out her quirk, but it was dispersed by a Super Saiyan 2 Izuku, who appeared in front of Cementos to hit him, which sent him crashing into some buildings, causing him to end up unconscious, but before he continued, he received a blow from All Might so that he could hit him again causing him to end up on the floor. All Might. Are you ready young Izuku? Izuku. I'm a Saiyan, I'm always ready. The boy said it with great pride so that he would go against All Might, bumping fists, but Izuku took a few steps back, but before he could do anything, he was bandaged by Izawa so that All Might could take the bandages and begin to spin while using Izuku's body to break the buildings to send him flying against a building that fell on him. When he was moving the rubble he received a blow from All Might that made him scream in pain. All Might. Come on young Izuku, you can give more. Izuku got up to receive a blow that sent him to his feet, but he was able to get back up. Izuku. You want to see more of my power, then you will. At that point he would start screaming while this caused earthquakes to begin to occur that could be felt everywhere. Izuku. This is Super Saiyan 3. Before anyone could say anything, Izuku appeared behind everyone so that all the heroes except All Might fell unconscious to the floor. Izuku. Let's see what you can do with this. Izuku appeared in front of All Might, hitting him in the stomach, causing him to grab his stomach and receive another blow that sent him flying, followed by a hammer blow. All Might. I'll end this. All Might went against Izuku colliding fists, but they made a cater followed by a wind wave, but Izuku kicked him that All Might took to crash him into the ground, but Izuku freed himself to hit him with a Kai sphere in the face to start giving him a combo of punches and kicks, which All Might could not dodge or block, so that in one of the blows he was sent flying. Izuku. Don't tell me that's all. All Might. I'll finish you off once and for all. Izuku would kick him, but saw how All Might would go against him preparing his last blow, but Izuku did the same. All Might. Smash. Izuku. Energy cannon. Izuku just dodged the blow to hit All Might in the stomach, causing him to go through a bunch of buildings, but Izuku left across the exit where he detransformed to fall unconscious. Chapter 17. After the test of the teachers against the students where Izuku showed his new transformation apart from beating all the teachers, so that like the original story everyone would agree to go to the mall, although Izuku was seen in his bed resting. Izuku. What's it like to be in bed in the morning, but I don't quite understand why the two of them are here. He said this while on his left side he had Melissa and on his right side Momo using Izuku's chest as a pillow. Melissa. You're comfortable. Momo. Besides, I wasn't going to waste this opportunity. Izuku. We have to go to the mall. Melissa. I don't want to go. Momo. But we have. The angry girl stood up for Izuku to get up followed by eating breakfast while somewhere else. Mina. Are we all here? Sai. Izuku, Momo and Melissa are missing. Mineta. How is it possible that he is with two beauties? Jiru. Because he is handsome in front of girls, he is not perverted, he is hexy and he can carry them. Kirishima. That and more things. Haminari. Kirishima you are very excited. Kirishima. Yes, today will be the day that I will ask Izuku to train me to be a man. Shoji. Something tells me you're going to end up badly after that. Bakugo. It doesn't matter, when will they arrive? Then they saw a car that had parked where the three of them got out and approached. Kirishima. Captain, you can train me in the art of being a man. Izuku. I will do it, but it won't be easy for you. They all went inside to start walking, but in a few moments they lost Izuku and Kirishima. Todoroki. Not even a minute passed and we already lost them. Toru. There they are. They saw a camping store where they were seen shopping. Kirishima. What will I need? Izuku. Just a compass, a knife and if you want some clothes, that's all. Kirishima. Nothing else. Izuku. Nothing else you need for camp. That made everyone sweat a bit and they started buying the things they needed. Kirishima. Why does everyone buy more stuff, Captain? Izuku. Because they think they need that. Everyone was shopping until they got to a part where they had to separate and each one went their own way. The days passed and the long-awaited day of the camp arrived where everyone got on a bus and began the trip. Uraraka. Hey Izuku, how did you meet Melissa? At that point they noticed that the boy was asleep. Kaminari. Good thing I don't hear you calling him by his name. Jiru. And Melissa, how does the captain feel? Melissa. I was just a kid when we met, my dad and I were walking peacefully until a crying boy with a wound on his cheek bumped into me and it was Izuku. Aoyama. It's very hard to believe that he would cry. Melissa. I know, but at the bottom of all that hardness you can find a wound that is not yet healed. When we met, I learned that Izuku was kicked out of his house by his own family for not having a quirk. When we took him to live with us, the next day his quirk awakened and he has been training ever since. Kirishima. Did he ever show a smile? Melissa. No, he never showed a smile to anyone, but one day when there were some kids on the street, Izuku helped them to be in a good place and it was the first and last time I saw him smile. Jiru. You know about the wound on his face. Melissa. No, never ask yourself that because it might just make the wound in your heart even bigger. Everyone understood this so they remained silent while Momo looked at Izuku remembering when he told her about her life before meeting Melissa. Chapter 18. After they went to the mall apart from taking the bus where they heard about how Melissa and Izuku met so that time would pass until they reached a place where they got off and Izuku woke up although he noticed some glances at him, but he ignored them. Izuku. Momo. Momo. Yes. Izuku. Because everyone is looking at me. Momo. They asked Melissa how they met. Izuku. I see. Then some girls appeared, being the hussy cats, who explained the same thing as the original story, so that everyone except Izuku would run, but before Kirishima left, Izuku took him by the shoulder. Kirishima. Captain. Izuku. A man doesn't run from danger, danger must run from the man. At that the floor began to fall as Izuku quickly rushed to grab Momo and Melissa. Mineta. I can't take it anymore. He went to some bushes, but when a robot was about to attack him a Kai sphere hit him full on. Izuku. Go quickly and do your business, everyone else will wait. Tesu. Why are we waiting for the dwarf? Izuku. A leader leaves no one behind, I won't leave the perverted dwarf behind. Kendo. What tell you that you are our leader? Izuku. I am the strongest, I can calmly make decisions in a place where there is chaos, I know how to direct myself, should I continue with the list? Kendo. No. When Mineta arrived, Izuku pressed a button and his suit changed. Izuku. Let's get started, no one get separated and watch each other's backs. Everyone listened to him and started walking while destroying robots that got in their way until they reached the place. Mandalay. Okay, record time, today we will cook for you, but tomorrow you will cook for yourselves, but now go to the hot springs. Everyone did their best to go to the hot springs where they could relax, but a certain purple-haired boy was going to do something. Mineta. I'm going to go to the abyss, I'm going to see the girls. Lita. Come back here. When he was about to do it, Kota throws water at him, causing Mineta to fall on Lita, but when the boy was about to fall, he was grabbed by Izuku, who, without realizing it, the girls saw how he saved Kota apart from seeing him naked. Izuku. Kid, go inside and be more careful, from now on I'll take care of the perverts. When all the boys left, a while passed until the girls came out, but with handkerchiefs over their noses, and by the next day everyone was training. Izuku. Kirishima, what do you think you're doing? Right now you're going to make a hut with your hands like I did, without the help of any tools, start breaking the trees. Kirishima. Yes, sir. Kirishima went into his tough form and started training. Tiger. Hey kid, do your training that I gave you. Izuku. Your shooting and hitting training is too easy, I'll never progress like this. He said this as he took out a capsule which made a room appear in which everyone saw the inside. Tiger. And what does this do? Melissa. It's a gravity training room, it increases and decreases gravity. Izuku closed the door for him to touch some buttons, which made Izuku almost fall to everyone's surprise, because he put 400 increase in gravity, but the surprise increased when he saw how some spheres came out, which began to shoot at Izuku who dodged it. When he finished his training he left to go where the others were. Izuku. Todoroki, Bakugo, Kirishima, Izumi, I need your help to train. Kirishima. What do we have to do? Izuku. Just attack. He said this while closing his eyes, surprising the boys who were watching this. Bakugo. Whatever. The ash-haired man went to give him an explosion, thinking that he was going to dodge or block it, but to his surprise he didn't move. They received the attack followed by Todoroki's eyes, so that Kirishima could hit him with a blow that raised him in the air, but Bakugo hit him with a mallet, causing him to stay on the floor, but he got up still keeping his eyes closed, only to receive fire from Todoroki. And a blow from Izumi leaving him injured, but when Kirishima was about to hit him as if nothing happened, Izuku still with his eyes closed, dodged the blow to dodge an attack from Bakugo to jump dodging an attack from Todoroki, but when he touched the floor, he received a blow from Izumi, causing him to be sent crashing into some trees that he knocked down, but with a little difficulty he got out. Izuku. That's all. Kirishima. I didn't understand your training. Izuku. And I don't plan on explaining, Kirishima, let's go get the food. Mandalay. But we have food. Izuku. Not that kind. Well passed, and when they were going to start cooking in the forest, Izuku and Kirishima appeared with some large fish that no one knows where they got them from. Momo. Where did they get the fish? Izuku. From a river. Kirishima. He forced me to get into the water to hunt them. Izuku. You didn't expect the fish to come out of the water on its own. After that everyone cooked. Chapter 19. After they arrived at the camp where they trained to also cook, but also some giant fish on an improvised bonfire of Izuku and Kirishima, where they tied them without taking anything off their bodies or eating with any cutlery, leaving a drop of sweat on everyone, since Izuku is practically turning Kirishima into an image of himself, only that Kirishima was happier. When they finished everyone was about to enter the building, but they heard a noise through the trees. Boy. Hey Izuku. That caught everyone's attention since no one was missing and it was a total stranger. Boy. Until death reaches one of us, we will continue. Izuku. Being heroes. Everyone wondered what was happening because Izuku had a surprised face, but they saw how he went in front of the boy. Izuku. Damn, you're still alive, but I thought you were dead. Boy. What can I tell you? I don't die easily. Izuku. Now I can say that I have a friend who had his chest pierced. Boy. Hahaha, it's noticeable that you've changed, now you're more serious than before. Izuku. But you didn't change anything, Dark. That surprised a blonde and raven-haired girl because the boy was supposed to be dead. Izuku. Tell me, what happened to you? Arc. True, when the villain pierced my chest they tried something on me, and since then the villains have been controlling me, now I was able to escape so I could warn them that the villains are going to attack. Izuku. We won't let them control you anymore. Everyone went to prepare while Izuku was with Dark. Arc. Izuku, I want you to kill me. Izuku. What? Arc. They put a demon inside me, I don't know how long I can control it, so I want you to kill me. Izuku. No, I'll find a way to save you. Arc. Izuku, this demon is the only thing that keeps me alive, but in exchange for that I hurt people, I want you to kill me, I can't stand it anymore. Izuku. But friend. And that Dark almost falls so Izuku takes him. Izuku. Are you okay? When Dark raised his head he showed black eyes with red pupils and hit Izuku sending him flying. Izuku. Dark reactions. He said this as he kicked him so he could see how Dark disappeared in smoke to reappear in front of him, giving him a punch followed by a kick that pushed him away. Izuku. I'll make you react. He went to hit Dark who disappeared in smoke to hit Izuku, followed by throwing fire which Izuku was able to dodge and began to fly, but Dark fell on top of him and hit him with a blow that sent him to the ground. Izuku. Damn. Dark gives him another blow that drags Izuku across the floor, but when he got up here he appeared next to Izuku to hit him a blow that sent him flying to grab his leg and start crashing him against the floor, but he let go of Izuku because he went into Super Saiyan 1 to kick him away from him to throw Kai spheres at him, but Dark disappeared as if nothing had happened. Izuku. How is this possible? And that he receives fire from Dark causing him to be sent flying, but before he crashed into the trees Dark hit him in the stomach, knocking all the air out of Izuku so that he would grab him by the face to crash him into some trees, but Izuku hit Dark with a Kai sphere in the face to hit him so that he could fly. Izuku. Dark, don't let that demon take control, you're stronger than that. I dodge a blow from Dark, but he threw fire at him that pushed him away, but before Izuku did anything he received another blow that sent him crashing into the ground so that he would go against Izuku, but he, using Super Saiyan Phase 2, hit him causing him to go far away. Izuku. The more time passes, the stronger he becomes. Dark looks at him to give a roar that caused everyone to cover their ears, but Izuku received a kick that left him on the ground, so that Dark put his foot on his head, beginning to crush him mercilessly, but Izuku took his foot to begin to spin at a great speed to at one point throw him away to begin to launch Kai spheres which hit Dark, but he managed to dodge the last ones to see Izuku and go. against him, but ended up receiving a kick from Izuku, who used teleportation, but before he did anything else, a dark portal took Dark away, causing him to hit the ground. Izuku. Damn, curse. But the last word giving a cry of deep pain. Chapter 20. After the attack on the camp, everything happened like the original story, in which everyone was interrogated by the police until at one point everyone from the original story, Lita, Momo, Todoroki, Kirishima and Izumi, disguised themselves to go to where the villains were, where they walked for a while until they reached a part where they were alone. Kirishima. I don't think the captain will approve of this. Momo. You're with the vice president, so it's okay. Todoroki. We have company. They saw someone in front of them. Kirishima is somewhat right, I wouldn't approve of this, but since there's a friend of mine I have no other choice. Momo. Izuku. Izuku. No, my dad. Todoroki. What are you doing here? Izuku. I already said it, there's a friend of mine. Everyone started walking, although Izuku went alone until they heard an explosion and went outside, where they saw All For One. Kirishima. Now what are we going to do? Izuku. I'll take care of it. The boy only came down to stand in front of the villain. Izuku. Hey, damn it, you remember me. Afo. If you are the kid from a few years ago who tried to kill but his friend sacrificed himself, your friend served us well. Izuku. Yes, but now I came for him and to finish you off. Then All Might would arrive, who, like the original story, would begin to fight All For One, but in the middle of the fight, Izuku would intervene. All Might. Young Izuku, don't get involved. Izuku. I always wanted to try something with you, All Might, since in our fight you were exhausted, but that damn villain serves me. He said this as he began to look at the moon, in which Izuku would begin to increase in size until he became a giant monkey, but this time his fur was golden, in which he would slowly change his size until he was smaller than his normal size, but with a big change. Izuku. This is Super Saiyan 4. That would surprise everyone watching TV, but in the fight Izuku received a blow, seeing Dark, who had eyes of the same color, but his size would begin to change, being bigger, until he ended up in a demonic form. Woman. Viewers, it seems that a boy changed into a giant monster. The being saw the helicopter, so he tried to attack them, but Izuku hit it, moving it away from them. Izuku. I am your opponent. Izuku went against Dark, who would try to attack Izuku, but he would dodge it, but he made smoke to appear above him to hit him, followed by taking him to start squeezing him with his hand to start squeezing, causing Izuku to scream in pain, but a cut on the giant's hand made him release Izuku. Izuku. Who are you? I'm Tapion. Izuku. What are you doing here? Tapion. I'm someone who used to have Hildegard, but they took her away from me and gave her to a boy. Izuku. What is that, Hildegard? Tapion. Hildegard is a being that feeds on evil. As long as this planet has evil, it will become stronger. The only way to defeat it is to kill it or make it return to my body, but it would come out again. Hildegard, in short, is a true demon of pure evil. That's what the people in the helicopter heard and recorded, making everyone watching hear it and understand that the only way is to kill him. Izuku. I see. They dodged an attack from Hildegard, which ended up hitting a building and ending up on the ground, but Izuku began to throw Kai spheres that hit him in the back, only to see how he remained still, but something came out of his back. Hildegard, using Dark's body, began to fly to go where Tapion and Izuku were to hit Izuku, sending him to the ground to give a scream, followed by throwing fire, which Izuku made a Kai barrier to dodge Hildegard's foot to try to hit him, but Hildegard dodged it to hit Izuku, who couldn't read Hildegard's movements. Tapion. It's very strong. Izuku. I think I know his weakness. Tapion. What is it? Izuku. Kai attacks have no effect, but physical ones do. Tapion. What are you planning? Izuku. I'm going to end this. Izuku went against Hildegard, who hit him, but Izuku looked at him to give a small laugh, so Hildegard could hit again, but Izuku spread his arms, avoiding the hit. Izuku. Come on, fight with all your might. Hildegard struck again to make the same thing happen. Izuku. Come on, is that there? Hildegard gave one more blow so that Izuku reached the ground, but as if he was going to give another blow, Izuku jumped forward, passing over Hildegard's fist to go in front of him. Izuku. Now, Dragon Strike. Saying that, everyone saw how a kind of golden dragon came out of Izuku, which pierced Hildegard, causing blood to come out, but when that happened the dragon left while the demon became smaller, until it was Dark, being pierced through the chest by Izuku's fist, which hit his gaze down. Dark. Thank you, friend. Izuku starts crying as he pulled his arm out to hug Dark, causing everyone to see this and hear Dark's words from him. Izuku. I'm so sorry, Dark. Dark. It's okay, you saved me from suffering. Remember, even if one of us were to die, we would be a great hero. He said this to close his eyes, and Izuku screamed in pain and suffering, while his aura was present and destroyed the floor, making everyone feel bad for the boy. Chapter 21. After Izuku went to fight All for One, although he ended up fighting Dark, his friend, ending up killing him so that he would no longer be a demon, making the boy worse off than ever before. At this moment everyone was with Aizawa in front of a building that had a sign that said 1A. Aizawa. For everyone's safety we made these bedrooms for all of you. Everyone was excited although a black guy was still depressed about what he had done a few days ago. Everyone went in to start the topic of arranging their rooms until they ended up being that everyone was in the living room except for a black guy who noticed Este. Mina. How about we have an answer? Whoever has the best room wins. Everyone agreed although some refused. Haminari. I don't think Izuku will participate. He said this while looking at the hallways where the rooms were. Hiroshima. Even the toughest and strongest man has great weaknesses. Everyone agreed to start the contest, going through the rooms until they reached the ones that were not participating. There was only one room left, Izuku's, which was closed so that no one could pass. Mina. Izuku, it's us, we came to brighten your day. The girl had a smile with that cheerful tone, but there was no response. Todoroki. It's best if we leave him alone for now. Everyone and agreed started to walk away, although two girls stayed where they were looking at the door, which was closed. Melissa. Maybe we should go inside. Momo. I think so. The two of them approached to knock on the door and it was actually open, so they entered seeing the room that was all dark, although they noticed some simple furniture apart from a work table being everything normal, but what they looked at directly was Izuku who was sitting on his bed holding a photo in his hands. The girls approached to see that the photo was of Izuku with Dark and that dog. Izuku. Do you really think he has forgiven me for what I did to him? The girls looked at his eyes which were red, signs that he had been crying a while ago, so they could only hug him. Melissa. I'm sure he forgave you, you were best friends, and you did him a favor that he himself asked you to do for him. Izuku. Still, it was too big a deal to do that. Momo. It doesn't matter if you're sure you did the right thing. The girls hugged the boy. Momo. You can let it all out with us, there's no need to show that rude and cold side all the time to not look weak. The boy could only begin to cry in the hug that the blonde and the brunette were giving him, letting out all the pain he had inside of him. He stayed that way until he fell asleep just so the girls could put him to bed so they could be by his side. Melissa. I think we should tell him how we feel about him. Momo. But after all this, isn't it a bit of a bad time? Melissa. So what do you recommend? Should we keep waiting? Should we let this happen? Momo. He's feeling very bad internally right now, so we have to leave him alone a little longer. Imagine if after a loved one died, someone suddenly told you that they loved you, especially when it was just two people. Melissa. You're right, we'd better wait a little longer. The girls stared at Izuku as they each lay down on one side of the boy to start sleeping. Chapter 22. After they had made the bedrooms in which everyone had their contest for the best room, although Izuku could not participate alone, so that he could stay in his room in peace until Melissa and Momo kept him company. At this moment Izuku was waking up finding the two girls next to him, so he just sat on the bed so that the hand with which he killed his friend could be seen. Izuku. If I'm going to fulfill our promise to be the best hero, my friend, then I assure you that I will be the best of all, although I have to become stronger. And that he was hugged from behind seeing the two girls who woke up. Momo. It seems you're feeling better. Izuku. Yeah, why aren't they in their rooms? Melissa. We're just keeping you company. Izuku checked the time to know that they would have classes soon. Izuku. We have to go to class. Momo. It's okay, but you know you can always rely on us for anything. They got up to get dressed although the girls stared at him since he took off his shirt. They all went to the living room where Izuku entered with his usual serious look in front of everyone. Hiroshima. Hey Izu bro, are you okay? Izuku. Because I wouldn't be, now sit down before I hit you. Haminari. He's definitely back. Jiru. But we can't be sure. Izuku. Mineta, Kaminari, I found out that you guys did your perverted acts while I was gone, and that implies a punishment from me. At those words, the two perverts became scared and began to receive a beating from Izuku, who had no mercy on either of them until he left them on the floor. Aizawa. Well, as long as Izuku is okay now, we have to go do a test. Everyone went to put on their hero costumes to leave the place, ending up in a part where they saw other schools. Uraraka. Why are there other schools? Izuku. That's because this test is one for all the academies in Japan, but that doesn't matter now. Aizawa. The test is about rescuing people while possibly ending up fighting against the other schools. Everyone agreed to start doing the test, while Izuku made sure to rescue everyone. When they started, Izuku just flew while looking at who came to need help rescuing people from the place, until he noticed a part where Todoroki was, so he approached. Izuku. Do you need help? Todoroki. What do you think? The boy was surrounded by those who are supposed to be the villains, so Izuku launched Kai spheres hitting the groups of villains, sending them all flying until a certain amount of cement hit him in the arm, making it impossible for him to use it. Izuku. What the hell is this? Great Orca. Apparently you weren't expecting it. Izuku. He's one of the top 10, I can't be too confident. Great Orca launched a sound attack that was dodged by Izuku, who stared at him to appear in front of him, giving him a punch in the face, sending him flying followed by throwing a Kai sphere, but the hero moved to stare at Izuku. Great Orca. You really are a good boy. Izuku. And you haven't even seen what I'm capable of. The Raven went against Great Orca, who responded to start bumping fists, although it was a bad idea since Izuku was beginning to take control of the fight until he kicked Great Orca in the stomach, pushing him away to go against him, who couldn't do anything against Izuku, who gave him blow after blow without having any mercy on the hero until he turned Super Saiyan. Izuku. You won't be able to handle me. Great Orca. We'll see about that. Great Orca tried to throw the cement as sound, but before it reached Izuku it disappeared from his sight to reappear at his side, giving him a blow to the stomach, knocking the air out of him as if it were nothing, so that it would form a large sphere of Kai. Izuku. This is over. Izuku gave the attack sending him flying, causing him to crash into some rocks which exploded leaving Great Orca unconscious. Chapter 23. After they finished doing the provisional hero license test, Izuku defeated Great Orca, so at this moment he was walking calmly through the halls of the UA, but at one point he would feel something that made him look at the sky, as if he knew that something very dangerous was approaching. Izuku. This Kai is very powerful, who the hell has such great power that it makes me feel it this way? The boy took out his phone to make a call. Davi. Hello Izuku, is something wrong? Izuku. Yes Davi, I'm afraid there's something I have to tell you, it's very important. Davi. You know you can always count on me, I have no problems. Izuku. You see, Mr. Davi, I think it would be better if I started to distance myself from you and your daughter. Davi. Why this way of being out of nowhere? Izuku. You see, Mr. Davi, I think something very dangerous is approaching and it's coming for me, I just don't want you to be involved with whatever is coming. Davi. Well, don't worry, if you do something wrong to keep us away from you, I will understand. Izuku. Thank you for listening, Mr. Davi. The boy hung up the call to continue walking until he entered the room seeing everyone to take a seat, but it didn't last long, since 3 people entered who introduced themselves as the original story, so that Najire began to go through the seats until she reached Izuku's, who only looked at her in a serious and cold way, scaring the girl a little. Najire. Hello, I saw that you fought alongside All Might. Izuku. Yes, I fought alongside him, and it's not a big deal to fight alongside someone else. Mirio. I'd like to fight all of you. Saying that, everyone looked at him so they could only go and change, looking at the blonde boy. Kirishima. I don't see it as a very good idea for all of us to fight against just one person. Izuku. Don't be overconfident, among the 3 of them he is the strongest, we are going to fight against the strongest in the UA. Saying that, everyone looked at him to get into a battle stance until Mirio launched himself against him, defeating everyone until only Izuku was left who had his gaze on him. Izuku. I think it'll be my turn. Mirio. Just don't let me down. The blonde launched himself at Izuku who did the same, but before they arrived, Izuku made a Kai sphere that hit the floor making a cloud of dust, so Mirio became intangible to be in the cloud, but when the dust was gone, there was no one there, something that it seemed strange to him until at one point, it ended with a kick from the Raven sending him flying, so that he appeared behind him giving him another kick lifting him into the air, but before he attacked him again, Mirio became intangible avoiding more attacks from Izuku, who with this only looked until the blonde landed in the place to stare at him. Mirio. You'll definitely give me a good fight. Izuku. You still surprise me that you are still standing even though it was expected that you would be the strongest. The Raven disappeared from everyone's sight to appear next to Mirio, hitting him in the face, sending him flying, so he could start throwing Kai spheres at the blonde without any control, hitting Mirio and knocking him unconscious. Izuku. If I had anticipated all that, at least I would still be standing. Tamaki. I can't believe it, I defeated Mirio. Najire. I've never seen anything like that before. Everyone went to change so that each one could be in a different part of the bedrooms, while Izuku was walking through the halls alone until 2 girls approached him. Melissa. Hello Izuku. Izuku. Don't bother. Momo. We just came to see you. Izuku. Don't bother me. Melissa. Come on, we just want to be with you a little longer. Izuku. Don't you understand, I don't love you, I just played with your feelings or it's that hard to think that. But those words the girls broke inside, and although Izuku wanted to deny it, he was beginning to feel worse because of those words. Momo. You're stupid. Melissa. Don't talk to us again. The girls left the place, while Izuku only prevented anyone from seeing that he let out a tear while somewhere else in space. Man. And where is that Saiyan who defeated Cooler? Man too. Mr. Frieza is on Earth. We have already sent soldiers to find out and we will arrive in a few days. Frieza. I can't wait any longer, I'm more than impatient to get there and make him suffer. Chapter 24. After Izuku sensed a dangerous Kai that ended up breaking the girls' hearts, although it also hurt him too, but he had to do it to protect them. The days passed and everyone noticed a huge change since the girls did not spend time with Izuku, and he himself was looking at the sky every night, as if he were looking for something. Hiroshima. Hey Izu bro, is something wrong? Izuku. No, it's nothing special, I'm just doing some personal things of mine, you know. Lita. If there are problems, we have to help each other. Izuku. Believe me, I would like some help, but the truth is that this is a problem that no one can help me with. At one point they saw Aizawa come in, still looking his usual self. Aizawa. Let's talk a little more about the hero license, but it's better if other people explain it to you. They saw how 3 young people entered, of whom everyone began to talk because they were so well known until, like the original story, Najire was asking everyone until she reached Izuku. Najire. And what's so special about you? I saw you defeat that villain who looked like a giant demon. But those words the boy looked at her angrily causing his eyes to change color for a moment, scaring the girl. Everything continued normally until Mirio challenged everyone to a fight, so they were in front of the blonde ready to fight. Mirio. I'd like to see what Class A is made of. The blonde launched himself defeating the entire class like the original story, but in the end only Izuku remained who stared at him. Mirio. Why don't you fight? Izuku. I just waited for you to finish them all off, now it's my turn. The boy launched himself against him trying to kick him, going through him, but when Mirio was about to hit him, Izuku was faster, hitting him in the face, sending him flying, causing him to crash into the wall, so that he would launch a Kai sphere, which did nothing to him until he turned around, blocking a blow from Mirio, who had a smile. Mirio. At the end of all this you are good. Izuku. You'd be surprised what I can do. The boy tried to hit him, but the blonde became intangible and had to remain that way, even though the boy was faster than him and at the same time stronger because of the way he moved, managing to pierce Mirio. Izuku. Stop touching me. Mirio. Unlike all of them who fought as a team, you were distracted, you were thinking about something much more important than who you were fighting with. Izuku. That's none of your business. The boy threw a Kai sphere at him, which the blonde managed to dodge. Mirio. Don't tell me, by the expression on your face and the way you act, one can tell that you're thinking about an opponent who is more dangerous than any of them, but the question is, how dangerous is he? Izuku. Shut up already. The boy tried to hit him, causing him to hit the wall, causing it to end up destroyed. Mirio. It seems like you need help, but you don't want anyone's help to protect them. Izuku. Don't meddle in other people's business. At one point when he was about to launch himself into combat he felt something, so he looked away seeing 3 subjects flying through the air whom he immediately recognized, so he flew away before the eyes of everyone who did not understand why, so they only came close to listening to the conversation he was going to have. Izuku. Who the hell are you? Subject 1. Relax, we are the space police and we came to this planet for a subject who is dangerous. Izuku. Who is your leader? Subject 2. I'm afraid I can't tell you that. Everyone was listening to that until they were surprised to see how Izuku immediately hit 2 of them and kicked the third, causing them to fall to the ground so that he could be in front of them. Izuku. I ask you a question, answer it or die. Aizawa. Wait Izuku. The boy threw a Kai sphere hitting the ground so that Aizawa would not advance, surprising everyone with the attitude he had just had. Izuku. Don't get involved. He looked back at the subjects while holding some Kai spheres. Izuku. Speak or die. Subject 3. Well, our being is Lord Frieza. Izuku. Frieza. Go back to him and tell him from me. Subject 2. But if we do it. Izuku. If you don't do it, I'll torture you myself. Do you want to see an angry Saiyan? With that, everyone got scared and flew away, and to show them that Izuku wasn't lying, he threw a Kai sphere hitting one of them, causing him to fall to the ground. Izuku. Hey Aizawa-sensei, is the gravity machine ready? Aizawa. Yes, but I don't know why you want her. They saw how in a second the boy was already inside the machine, closing it to begin his training, seeing that he did it in a totally different way than before since his training now was more aggressive and they saw how difficult it was for him to move because of gravity. Najire. It seems that guy named Frieza is too dangerous to act like that. Mirio. And he definitely needs help. The whole class just watched as their classmate, being the strongest, became like that. Chapter 25. After everyone met the big three of UA and fought against them, although in the end Izuku took care of some soldiers so that he could go train, the days passed and everyone began to notice a huge change in Izuku since he did his tasks quite quickly to finish training, and when he finished training almost all the time he stayed on the roof of the bedrooms. Hiroshima. Something bad is happening to Izuku bro. Amanari. Yes, but I think he went through a similar issue when he lost that other boy who was like his brother. Uraraka. No, this is different. Todoroki. You're right, sometimes he doesn't eat and I don't know if he sleeps. Everyone came to see how their partner was now sitting on the roof looking at the sky, as if he was searching for something, while Izawa appeared on the roof. Izawa. We can tell what's going on Izuku. Izuku. It's nothing Izawa-sensei, you can go now. Izawa. At least you can try to explain it to me a little. Izuku. I don't know if he would believe me. Izawa. Let's give it a try. Izuku. Well, the one called Frieza is a tyrant, someone bloody, ruthless, a villain, but much worse than all for one in both cruelty and power, he is capable of killing his own men regardless of the number. Izawa. Then you need help with that guy. Izuku. No, this is a matter that I don't want them to be involved in, it's very dangerous. Izawa. Fine, but keep in mind that you can always trust us to tell you anything. The professor left, although after walking he noticed his other children. Hiroshima. What did he say? Izawa. It's Izuku's business, he doesn't want us to get involved in that or we'll get hurt and it won't be that Izuku hurt us. The man left while everyone looked at the boy who just kept looking at the sky, the days passed and now Izuku found himself in a room where there were some heroes as well as his companions. Izuku. Why did they call us? Mirai. You see, we'll need a little of your help, soon we'll be facing a new villain who is a threat, his name is Sasaki, although he is known as Overhaul. Mirio. We saw him before coming with Izumi, apparently he has a daughter named Eri. Mirai. Interesting, this is going to be useful. Everyone began to look at the subject of Overhaul until they set a date to attack him, so Izuku left the place to end up on the roof of the dormitories, where he only did the same thing as always, but someone showed up. Momo. What the hell is wrong with you? Izuku. I don't know what you're talking about. Melissa. You don't spend any time with anyone anymore, everyone is worried about you, you don't eat like normal, you don't sleep much, you spend your time training and just looking at the sky. Izuku. I already told you, nothing is wrong, I'm totally fine. Melissa. When you stop thinking about yourself and start seeing the damage you do to others. The girls were about to leave the place, but Izuku's voice stopped them. Izuku. I keep them away from me so they're safe. But that they looked at the dark-haired boy who was still looking at the sky. Izuku. Something is coming, something very dangerous is coming, and I don't want them to be near me when that happens, because at that moment they will be in enormous danger. But that the girls were surprised since Izuku did not take them away from him for anything, but he was to protect them until he began to fly away from the place. Chapter 26. After they tried to find out what was happening to Izuku and they didn't get any answers other than knowing about Eri since Izawa told him about the mission to go against Overhaul and everything they had, now everyone was preparing to attack Overhaul outside his house of him. Mirai. Everyone is ready although I'm not too sure about Izuku. Izuku. I have no problem, I can fight with peace of mind. They all started walking but at one point Rikiya got in front of them. Rikiya. Don't think I'll let you pass. At that Ryukyu got on top of him leaving him on the floor. Ryukyu. You guys go ahead, I'll take care of him. They all agreed to enter Overhaul's house where they began to run. Mirai. Now we have to find it in this maze. Izawa. It's okay, Izuku can find him. Izuku. I can feel different evil energies, but among them there is a little girl I think. Mirio. It's Eri. Izuku. There's one very close, he's a villain through the walls. At that moment a part of the walls attacked them, causing them to separate. Izuku. Don't think you can defeat me with garbage like that power. He made a Kai sphere that he threw at the villain, causing him to create a cloud of dust, but when he left the villain was unconscious. Mirai. Mirio left here. Izuku. He probably left because of Overhaul. Izawa. Go help him right now. But that Izuku left at great speed in order to take care of Overhaul. When he arrived he saw Mirio who was injured, while Eri had a scared face. Izuku. Hey Mirio, I think you need help. Mirio. Hey Izuku, looks like you've arrived. Izuku. Yeah, whatever, take that girl out of here, I'll take care of these guys. He said this as he began to look at Overhaul who was serious. Overhaul. You're the boy who ended up defeating that huge demon, I heard you're strong. Izuku. And now I'm going to defeat you. He said this as he began to fly towards Overhaul, who in response, launched a large number of spikes that were easily destroyed by Izuku, who had a serious look and launched some Kai spheres. In response, Overhaul had to make a wall to avoid being damaged, but from one moment to the next, Izuku was behind him to give him a kick that ended up breaking the wall. Izuku. You're nothing against me. Overhaul. We'll see about that. He launched more of his spikes with the intention of defeating Izuku, but the boy destroyed him with great ease, as if it were nothing before him. So the villain chose to make him have some kind of deformed arms that disgusted Izuku a bit, but he put it aside to begin to get closer in order to defeat him, but in a second he had to start dodging hundreds of spikes that came out everywhere while he had his gaze on Overhaul, who only sent more spikes. Izuku. This is getting out of control, I better end it already. He launched himself once more against Overhaul, turning Super Saiyan, beginning to destroy all the spikes that were in his way to launch some Kai spheres, causing those arms to end up disappearing, so that he was in front of Overhaul, only to hit him on the chin, causing him to end up crashing into the ceiling, but before he could go down, Izuku launched a Kai sphere, causing the ceiling to break with Overhaul's body before the eyes of everyone who was surprised, while Izuku was above him to give him a hammer blow that sent him crashing into the ground, leaving him unconscious. Izuku. It was just garbage to me, nothing special. Mirai. Well, without you it would have been much more difficult. Izuku. I don't care, I'm leaving. He said this as he began to fly away from the place in front of everyone's eyes. Chapter 27. After Overhaul was defeated, everyone was thinking about the things they could do until they concluded with doing the concert, so everyone was practicing for the concert, although Izuku was the only one who did not participate in that, since he kept training all the time without any rest, but when he rested, he looked directly at the sky the whole time, as if he was waiting for something. Now Class A was calm until they saw some people enter. Hiroshima. Look, it's the hussy cats. Todoroki. And the kid breaks bowler. Koda. My name is Koda, damn human refrigerator. Mandalay. Wow, I see that everyone is here, but Izuku is missing. Hiroshima. He's a little lonely, we don't know what's happening to him lately. Melissa. I'll go look for him. The girl began to walk to the roof where she saw the dark-haired boy still standing looking at the stars. Melissa. The hussy cats and Koda came to visit us. Izuku. Okay. Melissa. You can at least come and say hello. Izuku. I'm not going to do it, I have more important things right now. Melissa. You can at least try to stop by and say hello. Izuku didn't answer, he continued the same way as if he didn't care about anything. Melissa. At least if you care, I'll tell you that when the sports festival is over, I'll return to the island. The boy didn't say anything, so Melissa left the place angrily while Izuku just stood still. The hours passed and like the original story, everyone was at the cultural festival calm, although a little bad, knowing that Melissa was going to leave that day when everything ended. Mina. But Melissa, you don't have to go just because of that stupid Izuku. Melissa. It's late, I made a decision and my father is coming today. Elsewhere, Izuku had his battle suit on sitting on a bench until Davi sat next to him. Davi. So you really want to keep us away? Izuku. If they must be safe then yes. Davi. Moving away is not always the best idea. Izuku. I don't have many opportunities or ideas and you know that better than anyone. Davi. Davi. Fine, but I want you to know one thing, we will always have the doors open for you. He walked away from the place so that everyone would pass by like the original story, and when everyone was walking calmly until they saw Izuku in his battle suit. Hiroshima. What is Izuku doing in his battle suit? Momo. Never mind, let's go now. They were about to leave, but they saw how he made a Kai sphere. Haminari. Well, now it's starting to get scary, what are you going to do? Izuku's thoughts. I've already found you, damn it. At one point he threw the sphere into a place where everyone lost sight of it until an explosion occurred. Lita. What did you just do? At one point he started flying in the same direction where he threw the Kai sphere until they saw Davi sending some drones that followed Izuku. Melissa. What's wrong, Dad? Davi. I don't know, Izuku told me that a threat was approaching us and he was going to stop it, I think he's going to face that same threat. Hiroshima. So whatever Izuku tried to attack says that's the reason for his change in attitude. Davi. Something like that, Izuku wants to keep us away from whatever this is, but it must be very dangerous. With that, Momo and Melissa began to worry about the boy since he kept them away from him to protect them. Davi. It seems like it's getting closer. They watched as Izuku was passing towards an island where there was a strange ship along with hundreds of people who were flying. Hiroshima. Is that the supposed threat? Izuku. Freeze ear. When he shouted those words full of hate, the soldiers launched themselves against Izuku, who in response only began to destroy them, as if they were nothing before him as he advanced further towards the ship. Lita. Frieza just shouted. Davi. Yes, and I think that's their leader. He said this while the cameras were pointing at a being that was white and purple and had a sadistic look accompanied by a smile that scared everyone. Chapter 28. After everyone finished at the cultural festival, they saw Izuku's strange behavior, so that he ended up going to a place where Davi sent some drones to follow him, only for them to see Izuku face a huge army with which he wasn't having many problems, since he just defeated them with enormous ease, as if they were nothing before him. Izuku. Frieza. He said this as he launched a Kai sphere destroying hundreds of soldiers, leaving them unconscious. Hiroshima. I don't understand what's going on. Davi. Apparently that Frieza guy has something to do with Izuku. Mina. Yes, but what could it be? Davi. We'll find out about that later. They watched as he defeated all the soldiers until they were on the ground. Izuku. Damn tyrant, I will destroy you after all this time. Frieza. Wow, I didn't expect to see you again, whoever you are. Izuku. I don't know if you recognize me or not, but let's see if you remember these words. I will change the destiny of the entire Saiyan race. I will change the destiny of Kakarot and obviously your miserable destiny. But that Frieza remembered Bardock and when he destroyed planet Vegeta. Frieza. Wow, I didn't expect to see this. At one point I hear a soldier. Soldier. I'm sorry Mr. Frieza, but he is very strong. Frieza. Please didn't they tell you that getting in the way is rude? Everyone watched as he held out his hand for Izuku to open his eyes as he walked away and a huge explosion occurred, revealing a huge crater, surprising everyone. Kaminari. I kill them all without any mercy. Mirio. So this is the big threat they want to confront. Mina. He's a monster, he killed all his allies without any mercy. Davi's thoughts. Izuku, why did you never tell me it was something like this? Izuku. Damn bastard. Frieza. Don't worry, you're not going to fight me anyway. Izuku. What do you mean? Frieza. You see, young Broly in his last battle against a damaged Son Goku left some of his blood which I took to be able to do certain things as a clone, although it is not as powerful, but it will be useful. He said this while a Broly who was only wearing white pants with some blood-red fabrics and some gold-colored decorations appeared. The non-canon Broly. Izuku. Damn, I won't forgive you. Frieza. Please Broly, attack. Broly went against Izuku to try to hit him, but the boy could only block it while making him back away in front of everyone's eyes, but at one point, he managed to free himself to kick him in the face, followed by hitting him with a Kai sphere. Broly. Kakarot. He went against Izuku again, starting to give him blows which were dodged by Izuku himself, who responded with some punches and kicks to Broly's face, causing him to end up moving away from him, so that he finished with a kick to the stomach, moving him away a little. But again he launched himself trying to connect a blow, but Izuku was faster although he didn't do anything to him, so Broly responded with another blow, sending him flying. Izuku. But what? I noticed how my hair was more bristly. Izuku. Damn, I have to get serious. He moved on to phase 2 to start fighting Broly, having a few fist bumps in the air, making the place shake before everyone's eyes, until Broly made a Kai sphere around his body which exploded, sending Izuku flying, until he saw how his muscles grew to greater than before. Izuku. Damn, this is getting harder every time. Broly tried to hit him with a Kai sphere which Izuku dodged and responded with a punch to the face that did nothing to Broly who grabbed him by the face to slam him against the floor, followed by lifting him up to do the same, beginning to break the floor before everyone's eyes, but at one point, Izuku managed to free himself from the grip. Izuku. Take this. From his hand a sphere of Kai was formed which when hitting Broly made a huge explosion making everyone think that they had already won, but they saw how from all that smoke came Broly who grabbed Izuku by the back holding his arms. They thought what he was going to do, but they were surprised to see how Broly kneed him in the back, making Izuku scream in pain. He continued like that until he dropped him to the floor and with one jump he fell on top of him making him scream in pain, followed by jumping again and doing the same thing more times while the floor broke. The whole class was horrified while the girls just covered their mouths with their hands until he stopped torturing him. Frieza. Well done Broly, now. He fell silent as he watched the ground begin to shake until they saw Izuku emerge from the rubble with phase 4. Frieza. A new transformation. Broly. It doesn't matter, I'll finish you off. He launched himself at Izuku, but Izuku gave him a combo of attacks that sent him flying, causing him to crash into the trees. Broly came out to go against Izuku in order to finish him off, but he didn't expect Izuku to do the same only for his fist to begin to form a sphere of Kai with which he hit Broly's stomach, causing him to scream in pain as it exploded. Izuku. With that I must finish you. I turned to see Frieza. Izuku. Now all that's missing is your damn tyrant. Frieza. Wow, I'm surprised by that power, but let's see how long you can fight me. Chapter 29. After Izuku had fought against Broly being tortured by him until he managed to defeat him before everyone's eyes, he was now looking at Frieza who had a sadistic smile on his face, while Izuku could only eat a hermit seed to replenish his strength and be alert to any movement of the evil emperor. Frieza. Vala expected many things from a young Saiyan, but I never expected them to defeat Broly. Izuku. You should have made a better copy of the original Broly if you wanted to defeat me. Frieza. What does it matter now? Now I will kill you myself, consider it all an honor. Izuku. That's if I don't kill you first. Frieza. The Saiyans are as arrogant as ever. Izuku went against Frieza who had a smile to hit Izuku in the face, sending him flying, causing him to crash into some rocks, but from all the rubble, Izuku came out going straight towards Frieza, who still had a sadistic smile. Izuku. Damn bastard. He tried to hit Frieza, but he began to dodge all his blows as if nothing was happening, only to knee Izuku in the stomach, knocking the air out of him as he was sent to the ground. Izuku. Damn it. Frieza. What's wrong? You were supposed to kill me. Izuku. And that's how it's going to be. He got up to go against Frieza, but before he could do anything a beam of energy hit his shoulder causing him to stop. Frieza. Surprise. He said this as he began to launch more of those rays at Izuku's body, causing him to start screaming in pain at the attacks he was receiving. Everyone was watching this from the festival. Melissa. We have to help him. Hiroshima. Let's go. Everyone began to prepare to leave, while Izuku received a knee in the stomach that sent him flying, causing him to crash into the trees, breaking them only for Frieza to extend his arm, only to launch a Kai attack, creating a huge explosion. Frieza. Wow, there were only 3 Saiyans who would have dodged it, but now there are 4. He said this while giving some laughs and looking back where Izuku was taking breaths of air with wounds on his body and some smoke coming out. Izuku. Damn bastard. Frieza. I'd like to see how long you can last. Before Izuku could attack or do anything, a lightning bolt hit his leg, followed by another bolt in the chest, and more hit him, causing him to scream in pain at the torture he was receiving, only for him to stop at one point, letting Izuku fall to the floor while I have prepared another attack. Frieza. Die. Before he launched the attack, a large amount of fire hit him, causing him to stop and see the person responsible, who was upset. Frieza. Who dares to interrupt me? I looked to the side to see that there were many professional heroes with Endeavor being the one in front of everyone. Endeavor. We won't let you do any of that, villains. Frieza. Well, more toys for me. He said it with a sadistic smile, while Izuku had already fallen only for a large amount of ice to take him towards Class A. Momo. Are you okay? Izuku. What are you doing here? It's very dangerous. Melissa. We couldn't leave you. Izuku. It doesn't matter, you have to leave all this to me, if I die at least I'll do it on the battlefield and not in a hospital room. Hiroshima. Don't say that, we'll get a doctor and you'll recover. Izuku watched the fight as Endeavor couldn't do anything to Frieza who pierced him with a blow to the chest before everyone's eyes, and even more so for Todoroki, who was filled with anger at the evil emperor, to throw a large amount of ice that did nothing to him. Frieza. So they're trying to escape. He was about to attack them, but some bandages took him being Izawa, along with the screams of Present Might and the shots of Sniper, but they could not do anything to the cold demon who looked at them to send different Kai rays, killing the 3 before the eyes of the world, followed by going against Mount Lady and Midnight, which he covered with a simple Kai attack. He looked at Nezu who was afraid, but before he did something to him, Mirko tried to do something against him, but however he could not do anything only for some feathers to try to hurt him, but they could not do anything, so that with one movement he killed the 2 professionals. Ryukyu tried to eat him, but it was a mistake since Frieza turned her into dust. Nobody could believe what they were seeing, a single being was killing all the professionals. Frieza. This is so exciting. I look at Class A who noticed their gaze to feel fear before the evil emperor, so that he pointed one of his fingers at them. Frieza. Let's see how many of them I give. He launched many Kai beams against the classes that were scared by this, to the point of remaining completely still, but Izuku with his remaining strength, launched Kai attacks, so that none of those beams would hit the class, achieving this, but he noticed how a beam of energy went against Momo and Melissa, who were in front of each other. Izuku's thoughts. I have no more Kai left. The girls watched as their end approached, but at one point something threw them to the ground, so they could see that it was Izuku. Melissa. Izuku. Momo. What did you do? Izuku. What? You didn't see it coming. He said this as Frieza created a huge Kai sphere which he launched towards the class. Izuku. I won't be able to stop this, I'm sorry everyone, I'm sorry Dark, I'm sorry Master Bardock. He was slowly falling to the ground so that they could notice a hole in his chest, causing the two girls to open their eyes, but before his body hit the ground, he noticed that in front of him was the back of a shoulder with an orange doji, who looked at Izuku to show him a smile. "Man. You did well, but let me handle this." Izuku. Accurate. Chapter 30. After Izuku had fought with Frieza, although he could not do anything against the Emperor of Evil, so that now he was on the floor with a hole in his chest being surrounded by all his companions, well, the professionals looked at this helplessly, although they had doubts about that man with the orange doji. "Frieza. You damn Son Goku, what are you doing here?" "Goku. To be honest, Frieza, not much. I just felt your damn presence on this planet, so I decided to see what's going on." "Frieza. But you're not here to interfere, are you?" "Goku. That's what I was planning, but..." I look at where Izuku was, who was dying, while the closest people were Melissa and Momo, who were kneeling almost at his height. "Melissa. Please hold on, don't go." "Momo. Please Izuku, don't do it, you didn't have to do it." "Izuku. I'm sorry." "Momo. Don't say any more, you'll waste energy." "Melissa. Please doctor." "Izuku. I'm sorry I couldn't be the best boyfriend for you." The boy coughed up some blood, further worrying the class as they watched, becoming increasingly fearful for his classmate. "Momo. Don't talk, you idiot." "Melissa. You're going to recover and fight again like always." They saw how he put on a smile in front of everyone who had never seen him with a smile on his face, something that completely surprised them. "Izuku. Please take care of yourself." Saying that, he closed his eyes so that his entire body would become completely still, meaning one thing in the eyes of everyone, who began to cry. "Melissa, Momo. No. Goku. I can't let you get away with what you just did, Frieza." "Frieza. Damn Goku, you better leave me alone or..." "Vegeta. What are you going to do?" The evil emperor turned his gaze, seeing that Saiyan prince of his race with a serious look. "Broly. You can't do much either, since I can't let it go that you tried to make a clone of me. I look at the last legendary Saiyan, making me start to be afraid of the three Saiyans in the place." "Frieza. Now what do you want, damn apes?" "Vegeta. Get off this planet and never dare come back." "Broly. Otherwise." "Goku. We ourselves will be the ones to end up eliminating you." Frieza looked at them with great fury and left the place, getting on his ship to leave before the eyes of everyone, who was surprised by how those three guys could make such a villain end up leaving the place. The three of them looked at where Izuku was and how the two girls were crying on his chest. "Goku. Hey Broly, do you still have them?" "Broly. Yes." He said this while showing a bag for them to get down and put some spheres with stars in, followed by Goku making a Kai field so they wouldn't hear him. They saw how he said some words that no one could hear, so that a huge dragon came out before the eyes of everyone, who was surprised by such a thing. "Shenling. What is your wish?" "Goku. We would like you to revive all the people who died because of Frieza on Earth." But that they saw how those red eyes gave a glow, so that everyone could see in surprise how all the dead people began to get up, but seeing this the girls looked at Izuku desperately, so that he would begin to wake up to their joy. "Izuku. What happened?" At one point he was hugged by the two girls, throwing him back to the floor. "Izuku. What happened?" "Momo. Don't do that again." "Melissa. You're an idiot, you scared us, we thought we would never see you again." "Izuku. Seriously, what happened?" When he looked at the huge dragon, he began to understand everything, and so he stood up to walk towards it. "Shenling. What will be your second wish?" "Goku. I honestly didn't think about it." "Izuku. I have one or well, two wishes." "Shenling. Tell me the..." "Izuku. Well, I have a friend named Dark. I would like you to revive him and give him control over his inner demon." "Shenling. That's easy." He made his eyes shine so they could see how Dark began to appear in front of Izuku. "Dark. Where am I?" "Izuku. Hello old friend." "Dark. It's you Izuku, long time no see, the last time we saw each other was when you pierced my stomach with your fist." "Izuku. Yes." "Shenling. If that's all, I'm leaving." He was starting to leave, but at one point Goku put the spheres in a bag to prevent them from dispersing and approached Izuku, who saw this. "Izuku. You are Kakarot." "Goku. Call me Goku, but it's me, here you go." He gave him the Dragon Balls, surprising him. "Izuku. Do you really want me to have this?" "Goku. Yes, inside the bag there is a button with which you can call us whenever you want to train." "Izuku. Yes." "Vegeta. Let's go, insect." "Goku. Yes, Vegeta." They began to float before everyone's eyes, although Izuku had a smile at this until they lost sight of them. "Mirko. What happened?" "Endeavor. Moments ago we were dead, but now we are not." "Izuku. That happens because of certain things, now let's go home." He said this taking a few steps to fall to the floor unconscious, but Dark took him. Momo. What's wrong? Ark. Nothing special, he just had a very big and exhausting fight apart from reviving, don't expect him to walk again as if nothing happened. Melissa. Let us take him. They started walking, taking Izuku to leave the place. Chapter 31. After Frieza had left and Dark had come back to life, everyone was now at UA totally calm in the recreation room, although this time they had Dark as a new partner since the director decided to let him live in the dormitories until further notice for everyone at UA. Hiroshima. So those Dragon Balls can grant any wish, but only if you say the password to activate them. Izuku. In short and summarizing everything is based on that. Arc. That way you revive me. Izuku. Yes. Arc. Well since we know that then let me now pierce your chest with my fist and we'll be even, okay? Izuku. There's a problem, these spheres can only revive you once, not the second time. Arc. Then we can't even out. Izuku. Although there are spheres on planet Namek and those can revive you more than 2 times. Arc. Let's say no more, I have to kill you. Izuku. Come on. Before Momo and Melissa could do it, they hit him on the head. Izuku. Why is that? Momo. Just don't die again, you idiot. Izuku. Well it's getting late, I'm going to sleep. The boy began to leave, but at one point he ran into Izumi. Izuku. Now what do you want? Izumi. I just want to ask you to come home for at least a few hours, mom is very ill, and it was worse when she saw how you died on the news. Izuku. Did you forget that it was you who kicked me out of the house? Who made me end up eating garbage from the street, although I have to thank you because thanks to that I was able to meet Dark. Izumi. And that's it. Izuku. I'll be thinking about it. Izumi. But that won't leave me alone. At one point I noticed Dark pushing Izumi into her room and pulling Dark to Ella with her. Dark. What are you doing? Izuku. Be a good friend and keep her busy all night. Arc. How do you want me to do that? Izuku. I don't know, do something like play with her, talk about your lives or at least have a fun night in bed. He said this to lock the door and go to her room, when he entered he saw Momo and Melissa. Izuku. Oh hey girls, I didn't know you sneaked into my room without asking me first. At one point they threw him onto the bed while they put on him. Izuku. What are you doing? Melissa. It's just that after all the time we spent and all this. Momo. Seeing your death and how you sacrificed yourself made us understand everything. Melissa. We want to be with you. Lemon skipped. That was happening to Izuku while Dark was only covered by some sheets and apparently without clothes while being hugged by Izumi. Dark. You know this could include Grape. Izumi. You know I don't care and first now you're going to introduce yourself to my mother saying that you're my boyfriend, second you're going to convince Izuku to spend some time with my mother. Arc. But what? Izumi. Do you really want to know? He said it with a menacing look, scaring Dark. Chapter 32. After Izuku had a night of passion with his girls while Dark was simply wrapped by Izumi, they were all at UA calm, since they were able to go through their things, making Izuku's girls more than happy, although he noticed how Dark was with a blank look. Izuku. Hey Dark, are you okay? Dark. Yes I am, why do you ask? Izuku. I see you as if the devil sucked your soul. He said this so that Izumi would take him by the arm with a smile, so that he would be whiter than before. Izumi. You can rest easy since nothing happened to him, he's just a little tired. Dark. Yeah, that was a bit of a rough night. The Raven looked at them with notable doubt but put it aside to return to his own business. Momo. I hope you have something prepared for us today. Melissa. After what happened yesterday. Izuku. Yes, I'm thinking about it. Everyone was happy with this, but at one point Izuku and Dark opened their eyes to look out the window. Hiroshima. Is something wrong? Izuku. I think we have visitors. They approached the window to see a trail of light land in the courtyard where some strange guys were just beginning to appear before everyone's eyes, although Izuku could recognize them. Shoji. Hey look at that kind of orange clothing, it's the same one we saw when they killed Izuku. He said this so they would remember one of the 3 guys who were there while Izuku and Dark came down to see them. Izuku. You are Mr. Beerus, Mr. Whis and Kakarot. Goku. I actually prefer you to call me Goku otherwise it's a nuisance. Izuku. It's a shame I'm used to that name. Dark. Not for nothing, but can you tell me what's going on? At one point they saw Bills and Whis begin to walk away from the place. Goku. Mr. Beerus, don't go, we still don't have money to pay for everything you eat. Bills. And who needs money when I can eat on my own? After all, I'm a god. At those words, the vast majority thought he was even more arrogant than Bakugo, while Izuku and Goku worried about him knowing how everything would end if they let him go. Izuku. Wait Mr. Bills, if you want I can offer you some food, you know, especially for you. But that the two of them stared at him. Beerus. You better be rich or else I'll destroy the earth. Izuku. As you command. Everyone watched as he went to the bedrooms and started cooking, having them in doubt why they would go where Izuku was. Jiro. Hey, what's wrong? Izuku. Nothing's wrong with me. Jiro. But you're saying what that cat is saying to you, it seems like you're afraid of it. Izuku. And you have to be a little afraid, it's a god. Izumi. Just because he called himself a god doesn't mean he is one. Izuku. Yes he is the god of destruction, he is the strongest in the entire universe, it is impossible for me to ignore him, otherwise he will destroy the earth, you saw for yourself that there are beings that can destroy the earth, those three that came can destroy a galaxy. Saying that they were surprised as they looked at him, after a while Izuku left some plates on the table for the three of them. Whis. What is this? Izuku. Katsudon is a very delicious food. Beerus. I hope so. The three of them began to eat the food so that they could be satisfied with that. Izuku. Not for nothing Mr. Beerus, but why did you come to Earth? Whis. We came for you too. He said this while pointing at Dark and Izuku who were surprised while a little in the distance the teachers began to approach and noticed the presence of the orange doji man. Dark. They came for us. Izuku. Excuse me but I don't understand. Goku. What happens is that we came to train you. Dark. And why would they do that? Whis. Mr. Bill's brother challenged him to a martial arts tournament again. Bills. That fat fool doesn't know he can't beat my universe. When I said my universe everyone had doubts. Izuku. And I guess you guys have chosen your warriors already. Whis. If there are 2 of you among those warriors, there will be a total of 5. Izuku. You mean the 2 of us apart from Kakarot, Vegeta and Broly. Whis. Indeed we want to train you because Son Goku personally chose you to enter the tournament. Goku. You are a Saiyan like us, I can see that you have enormous potential inside you. Dark. Excuse me Mr. Beerus, but I'm no good at fighting, I can't control my inner demon. Bills. There's nothing to worry about since Whis will make sure you train that part so you can control it. Whis. They will become very powerful warriors and will also defend this universe. Momo. Excuse me, but how is that about defending the universe? Goku. What happens is that it was not explained well that if Mr. Champa wins, he will take the Earth from Universe 7 to his universe. That could only confuse those present even more, something that Whis noticed when he touched the floor with his staff, making a hologram of 12 spheres. Whis. You see, there are a total of 12 universes. Now we are in Universe 7 and Champa, Mr. Bill's twin brother, is in Universe 6. That universe would be like the twin universe of ours. Melissa. And why do you want our land? Bills. That idiot Circa and apostrophe T just accept that our food is better than his, that's why he wants to hold a tournament again. Goku. The point of all this is that at the end of everything they will become very strong. Izuku. Enough power to not only protect this country but the planet and the universe depends on us, so I accept. Dark. Count on me too, we will fight for Universe 7. Bills. I like your enthusiasm, so we'll pick you up tomorrow. You better bring everything. At that Izuku noticed the worried looks of his girls. Izuku. Excuse me Mr. Bills, but I would like to ask you a question. Bills. What is it about? Izuku. I would like to know if tomorrow when they take us, we could take some people with us. Beerus. And why would you want that? Izuku. As motivation to know what I can lose if I don't win that tournament. Bills. It's okay as long as they win. He said this as he left in a trail of light with the Saiyan and the angel before everyone's eyes. Chapter 33. After Izuku spoke with Bills and Whis, they simply began to prepare things to be able to go, since they were going to have to train for a while, if they at least wanted to try to protect the earth and all living beings, apart from the fact that they were going to face beings of great power. Dark. I still can't believe that we will be trained by gods. Izuku. Well start believing it because this won't be easy at all. Dark. I can't wait to get started. At one point they heard the door being opened to check on the girls. Dark. What are you doing in this place? Izumi. It's not obvious we plan to accompany them. Momo. They're not going to leave this world without us for a while. Melissa. It's true, apart from that, we also want to go to the world of a god. Izuku. Just don't try to do anything crazy or harmful. When they finished packing they were only able to leave while looking at their companions. Kirishima. We'll be waiting for you. Haminari. I still can't believe the girls are going with you guys, they're not even going to fight. Momo. That's true, but they need some inspiration. She said it in a lustful tone that no one could notice, but Izuku and Melissa did, apart from knowing what the brunette was referring to at that moment. Before they left they heard a girl arriving. Girl. I'm sorry but they haven't left yet, right? Dark. Who is that? Izuku. If I remember correctly, it's Kami. I met her during an exam. Momo. What are you doing? Izumi. Well, let's say that she and I have been friends for a long time and I wanted to try to get her to come so she could get to know the place. Melissa. I think it's fair that there are 2 girls on Izuku's side and only 1 on Dark's side. Kami. Hi Izumi, thanks for this. Izumi. You're welcome, I wanted to go with my friend. Before they continued talking they saw a trail of light below, Whis having his usual smile. Whis. Hi, I see you're ready, we can go now. He said this so that everyone began to hold on to Whis to leave the place. After some time they finally arrived at Beerus's planet, seeing the place and being surprised by it. Momo. It doesn't look as big as a planet, but it is beautiful. Whis. Mr. Beerus himself wanted this design for his planet. Melissa. It's impressive. Kami. I don't regret anything that came. At one point they heard someone approaching, it was Goku who had his usual smile. Goku. It seems that they have already arrived, that is good to know. Izuku. Hello Kakarot, long time no see. Goku. Actually my name is Goku, I prefer that name. At one point they heard a clash of blows. Momo. What was that? Goku. That was Broly's son, the boy never trained in his life, but knowing that now part of the universe is being played, he began training yesterday. They walked to see how Broly was training with a boy who had hair like him, but the difference was that his hair was white, he had purple eyes and his skin was green, the 2 of them were training. Vegeta. These insects finally arrive, we better start preparing that insect that Bardock trained because we will begin soon. Dark. Excuse me, but what do I do? Whis. You can't control your inner demon, so I'm going to make sure you learn to control it one way or another. Izumi. What about us? Woman. Let me show you where you're going to sleep. They looked to the side and there was a girl who was not so tall, she had skin, hair and eyes like the boy who was training with Broly. Melissa. Hi, my name is Melissa. I imagine you are the mother of the young man who is training. Woman. Yes, my name is Chilai, that young man is my son and he is training with his father, his name is Len. Kami. It doesn't do anything wrong if I talk to him. Chilai. I don't know why you would want to talk to him, but I don't think it would hurt anyway, he almost never talks to boys of his own age, but that's not important now, come on I have to show you where you're going to live. The girls began to follow her while Izuku was taken by Goku and Vegeta, while Dark was taken by Whis, already somewhat far away they left him in one part. Izuku. Now what did I do? Goku. Nothing, we just have to train you to have the phase of a god. Vegeta. You seem to have mastered the Super Saiyan quite well even with a new transformation, but that was a pretty deadly Kai, the one we are going to teach you will be one of the gods. He said this to go to Super Saiyan God, surprising Izuku who was watching this. Izuku. Impressive, I circa an apostrophe T feel his Kai. Goku. It's because now it's divine, only others who have divine Kai can feel it, but now the most important thing is to teach you how to use it. He said this so that Izuku could start being trained, while Dark was just sitting in front of Whis who had a smile. Dark. Excuse me, but how am I going to be able to control my inner demon? Whis. That demon you have is called Hildigan, a demon that grows stronger based on the hatred and evil that it may feel, that is why you are going to have to learn to control it. Dark. I still don't understand. Whis. You see, there are 2 types of anger. Uncontrolled anger that destroys everything in its path, being a blind anger, and controlled anger, which is when a person can use it in combat to become stronger and even keep everything stable. But that Dark he was able to nod to begin his training just like the others. Chapter 34. Months passed since they went to train with those pure-blooded Saiyans so that they could become stronger over time. Right now in a forest the UA was having problems with Gigantomachia since they had no idea how to stop its progress. Lita. No matter how many times we attack that thing, it remains standing as if nothing happened. Sato. Even Mount Lady couldn't handle that, we need to have a better plan if we want to finish off Gigantomachia. Kendo. And the worst part is that the League of Villains is giving support, which is worse. He said this as they watched a League of Villains fighting while keeping peace with Gigantomachia. Abi. This is beautiful, I definitely never thought I'd see such a thing, it feels so good. He said this while looking at everything. Midnight. That's all, I have to stop them somehow, I have to be able to avoid their path. It was the woman's thought of her as she looked at the villains. Toga. Hey, don't you feel hot? Twice. It must be Dobby's fire for sure. Toga. It's not that, I feel something else, like something worse is coming. At one point in the dark sky of black clouds, they noticed how it began to have a light, making everyone look at this, until a huge fireball opened the sky, forcing the villains to get off Gigantomachia, as it hit him directly causing him to fall to the ground. Dobby. What the hell was that? At one point they saw a young man with black hair beginning to descend from the sky. Ark. Hey, it seems like you're having trouble. He said it with a smile towards everyone. Abi. Gigantamachi eliminates that bastard. The huge being tried to take Dark, but the young man ended up reappearing on his back in a cloud. Ark. I guess we're not going to fix this nicely, I guess I have to defeat them, best UA class go, I'll take care of this. Lita. But you can't fight that thing, it's huge. Ark. Well, the League of Villains aren't the only ones with a monster. They saw how his body began to grow only for them to see how he changed to his demonic form, being Gildigan to be on a pair with Gigantomachia, although he became a little bigger. Toga. I guess we're in trouble. Twice. I think so. Midnight. We better go, victory is certain now. Gigantomachia tried to hit him, but failed because he only hit smoke, so he would return to his normal state to hit Gigantomachia, causing him to fall to the ground. Elsewhere was Tamura, who was just fighting. Tamura. Damn idiots, they can't handle me, die already. He said this as he tried to attack, but a Kai sphere hit him squarely, causing him to fall to the ground. Izuku. You better calm down and don't act like that. Bakugo. Damn Deku, you're finally here. Izuku. Hey Bakugo, it looks like you need some help. Gran Torino. We must take advantage of this moment to be able to finish off all the villains now. Izuku. No need, Vegeta, Broly and Kakarot are outside. He said this while in the city 3 Saiyans were at the top of everything. Bakugo. Well, now we have to take care of these bastards. Izuku. Let me take care of it. They saw how his body took on a red coat, being phase 4. Gran Torino. I understand that this form is powerful, but I don't think it's that great. Izuku. You say that because you don't know my new power now. Tamura. Damn it, I swear I'll destroy you once and for all, you're going to die. From one moment to the next the young man was in front of him with a fist embedded in his stomach, causing the villain to spit blood as he fell to the floor in front of Izuku, who only had a serious look. Izuku. You're an idiot, you think you can just come against me like nothing, but there's a problem, you can't go against someone who has the level of gods. He said this as he hit him with a Kai sphere squarely in the man, causing him to fly away, causing everyone to be surprised by the simple way he seemed to defeat the villain in front of the young man, and at the same time, near the place, Gigantomachia fell completely wounded, having major wounds, while Dark was nearby. Dark. It seems that Mr. Whiz's training really works. Izuku. That's true, I even feel better than before. He said this while just stretching a little. Dark. Now let's go for the rest of the villains. Izuku. Sounds good to me. The two of them began to walk in order to be able to finish off the villains, seeming as if they were a simple warm-up in front of the eyes of everyone else. Chapter 35. Once the battle was over, everyone just stood there watching things as they began to fix the city, while the UA recovered from the attack it had by the League of Villains. Sato. So they really were able to get back just in time. Izuku. Luckily Whis warned us of the situation, so we wanted to come as soon as possible to avoid problems. Hiroshima. And how strong did they become? Arc. Enough to maintain a great fight, now we just have a few things planned to be able to become stronger. Izuku. Soon we will have to participate in that tournament of power. Tokoyami. Not for nothing, but we must stop the League of Villains, we can't let them continue free. Arc. I think we can sort that out later. Izuku. Now we just have to focus on our things, they told us about the tournament that is planned to be held. Bakugo. And what is that tournament about? Arc. A fight between universes, we will be able to fight in that place. Izuku. Luckily we're not under threat of being destroyed. At that everyone looked at the two with doubt because of the words of being destroyed. Todoroki. What the hell are you talking about with that? Izuku. It's true they don't know, before a similar tournament was held, universes 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10 and 11 participated with 10 warriors, if a universe ended up losing all its warriors, it would only disappear. Arc. Luckily that's not going to happen, if we lose we won't be able to disappear. Izuku. Although that doesn't mean that we won't give our all in this tournament in order to win. He said this while having a smile just like Dark for such words. Hiroshima. So they're going to fight in that same tournament, they must be very strong now. Haminari. Although that doesn't mean the other universes don't have powerful warriors. Izuku. Now that you say it, it's true, only if the universes remain as they should have been before, then we already know who the finalists could be. Sato. And who were the finalists of the previous tournament? Mina. Those universes with great warriors must be very powerful. Izuku. They were universes 7 and 11, without a doubt my only concern in the tournament is facing Hit or Jiren. I heard that Hit is the greatest assassin in Universe 6, and Jiren is the most powerful warrior in Universe 11. Without a doubt, they must be powerful. Momo. This is the first time I've heard you say in a way that you don't want to face them. Melissa. That's right, we never heard you like that. Ark. Well, Jiren is very powerful without a doubt, I have never seen him being as powerful as him before, since they showed me his fights. Izuku. Although we don't have to be discouraged, we have Broly on our side. Ark. It's true, apart from the fact that we have his son in the same way, Len is really very powerful, and I know it from the blows he gave me. Izumi. I thought you got hit harder like when Izuku killed you or you know what. But that the young man remembered how he was raped on Earth by the green-haired girl and on Beerus's planet by the same girl, causing him to start shaking. Tokoyami. And what's wrong with him? Izuku. Memories of Vietnam. Izumi. Although it was good that we brought Kami because now she has someone to hang out with. Izuku. Yes, but she shouldn't have come. Izumi. Why not? You could take Momo and Melissa being two girls so Dark can do the same. Izuku. First, they and I have a well-formed relationship that leaves a clear reason why. Second, she was not loved by Dark. Izumi. No matter what's done, it's done. Izuku. Wow, I really have a lot of problems with you no matter what. Momo. We better try to relax a little, there's no need to act like this. Melissa. It's true, maybe if we relax it's better. Dark. Anyway, we have to wait for Mr. Goku to find us, that way we can go to the tournament when the time is right. Izuku. Let's just hope the things we find there are worth it. He said it while having a smile on his face for such a thing, and in that way the class began to rest having in mind only talking to kill the lost time in which the boys spent time outside doing nothing. Chapter 36. Time passed since they began to feel better, but the important thing was going to be fraught soon in an area where there were some people being taken by Whis himself as bills to a place where there was nothing about it other than just a combat platform. Izuku. Where are we? Goku. There is nothing in this place, it is outside of Xeno-sama's domain, and in a few words it means that he can get excited without running the risk of destroying any of the universes. Vegeta. This is where we will have to fight if we want to have the chance to show what Universe 7 is capable of. The black-haired man walked to a part where he looked at the edge, noticing only the darkness. Dark. I think it was good to leave some of the Z fighters in the hands of our planet, at least that way the League of Villains won't do anything against the heroes while we're gone. Izuku. That's right, it's best if we can do this kind of thing as soon as possible. He said it while they were simply concentrating as they were Broly, Goku, Vegeta, Izuku, Dark, Gohan, number 18, number 17, again they had to take Frieza to make sure of things and Piccolo, since they were all there. Frieza. I still don't understand the reasons for bringing me back. Bills. We were the winners of the previous tournament thanks to your help, I want to make sure of victory as soon as possible. Whis. By the way guys, you better give it your best shot because this is going to be broadcast to your planet. Dark. What do you mean, our planet? Can that be done? Whis. Of course, Universe 2 will be able to let their entire universe be able to see how their warriors truly managed to protect them and how those from their planet wanted to have an idea of the warriors from another universe, then they will be able to see it all live and direct. Bills. I just hope they don't end up making a fuss when we get back because we really had to explain to that entire planet about gods and all that, at least now when I get back they'll be able to give me free food like it should be. Izuku. Anyway, I really can't believe they did something like that. Whis. The good thing is that they will be able to see them fight and get an idea of who the future strongest heroes of their world will be. Dark. That's if we survive. He said this as the rest of the universes began to appear, where he simply happened to notice how those from Universe 11 began to appear, just so they could go and say hello. Goku. Hey guys, long time no see, it's actually pretty good. Jiren. Son Goku, it seems that in the end you did come, the good thing is that this tournament was not made because of you. Goku. Come on, it was just that tournament once, nothing more than that, there's no need for you to act that way, and we can surely have great fights, there are no other options. Jiren. Don't push your luck like last time, you only won because you had a chance. Hit. And they are not the only ones who managed to improve in this time. Caulifla. Damn old man, I was finally able to learn more transformations without your help. Arc. And who are they? Piccolo. Saiyan from Universe 6, we had some problems with them because of the last tournament. Frieza. This is going to be interesting, we'll be able to learn a lot of things at least. Izuku. So they actually let people from other universes come who seem to be the same ones from the last tournament, but they managed to make a lot of progress. Champa. Hey bro, I want to know about the new ones you have because they look strong. Bills. Well, one is a demon, another is a Saiyan, and the biggest one, let's say that if you have a legendary Super Saiyan in your universe, then I can have one in the same way. Saying that he looked at Broly and Kale, noticing how one seemed more trained than the other, making him only get upset about that very thing. Broly. I don't think he's liked me yet. Caulifla. So a new Saiyan in your group, I hope you put up a fight. Hyab. I'm sorry, she's been acting like that since she reached Super Saiyan 3 and the God phase. Izuku. Just that. Well, there's some rationale behind it, but it's a shame you don't have the fourth because that one lets you have less Kai expenditure. Saying this, she stared at him completely. Caulifla. What do you mean, a quarter? That's not fair. She said this while looking annoyed at the young man's gaze, but they were stopped when they noticed how the Shinken began to appear, making it clear that the tournament was going to start soon, and everyone was going to have to start taking their distance. Chapter 37. Everyone in the tournament saw how Daishiken under his arm made it start once and for all where everyone simply attacked the other people when in truth it was a launched war where everyone was fighting against everyone. Izuku. I never imagined that this place would end up being such a large combat center. Arc. In fact, having 80 warriors in total, I thought the most obvious thing was that was going to happen. Izuku. I guess that's true. Vegeta. You two try to focus on the fight, don't try to focus on anything else. Arc. That's right, we have to look for warriors with whom we can fight a little. The two began to run a little while avoiding the attacks of some warriors who were in the area, hitting them to get them off the platform. Izuku. It seems simpler than it looks. Arc. Although we can't be so confident that we'll be able to do this against everyone. At one point a sphere of Kai was going to collide with them causing them to disappear. Hyab. What are you doing, Caulifla? We have to be on the side where we can take out the weak warriors while the stronger ones fight each other. Caulifla. Please, I don't plan on fighting warriors who can't match my level. We just need to get them off the platform, that's all. Izuku. Then I'm telling you that doing it that way isn't going to work. Hearing that they saw how Izuku began to appear with teleportation, while Dark appeared in smoke to kick each one away from the place. Dark. They are the warriors of Universe 6 if I'm not mistaken. Izuku. They don't look as impressive as they're supposed to be. Caulifla. What did you say? You're going to learn what will help you from now on. Hyab. Wait a moment, you look too much like Mr. Goku, you must be a relative or something of his. Izuku. I'm afraid not, but I still have to finish you off as soon as possible. Dark. I'll take care of the boy and you take care of the girl. Izuku. Sounds good, let's try some old moves if that's what you're into. Arc. Obviously that seems more than good to me. The two launched themselves at the same time against the Saiyans of Universe 6, who only prepared to be able to fight, when in less than a second Dark ended up disappearing to reappear behind them, causing them to try to jump away, but where they went right there was Izuku who began to throw Kai spheres, while Dark began to do the same. But throwing fire from his mouth against the two, creating a large explosion of smoke where the Saiyans came out again to try to attack them. But when they went after Izuku he alone left the place so that in his place, there was Dark who again threw fire from his mouth, causing them to begin to separate, so that behind Kyab's back, Izuku managed to appear connecting a knee to his stomach, followed by a kick that sent him towards Dark, who finished him off with a mallet blow, leaving him on the floor in pain. Izuku. That's one, there's only one more member left. Caulifla. It seems you can't count well. Izuku. What do you mean? Caulifla. If you looked around you, things could be a lot simpler, don't you think, Kale? As that man said, the young man was barely able to protect himself from a kick that went straight to his face, causing him to fly away and Dark to move away, seeing Kale who was using her transformation. Dark. Looks like they saved some company at the end of it all. Izuku. And that hit really hurts me, I think we'll be in trouble from this point on. Dark. Don't tell me, I guess even a good trick we have up our sleeve won't be of much use. At that, the two girls launched themselves at the same time, beginning to exchange blows with the two boys, who began to move away while managing to block their attacks, until Izuku finished with a kick to his stomach and Dark with a punch to his face that sent them flying, falling back to the ground. Izuku. Now you see that it hurts more than it seems. Dark. Don't be stupid, it hurts more when you punched me than that punch. Izuku. The best thing is to separate them, that way they won't be able to do anything about it. Dark. How do you plan to do it? Izuku. Just play along. The two of them stood up in front of the girls who began to look at them with smiles, as if it were nothing, so that Dark let fire out of his mouth again, which both Caulifla and Kale managed to dodge. Although in doing so they were only able to be separated by a kick from Izuku to each one, so that she could launch herself against Caulifla, who barely managed to cover herself from a blow from the young man as they moved away even further. Caulifla. You have no relation to Goku, but you certainly give good fights like him. Izuku. What can I say? I've been used to fighting since I was little. The two separated to continue until suddenly a Kai sphere almost hit Izuku so he could see the cause and noticed that it was Vegeta and Toppo who were face to face. Chapter 38. The young man watched as the two warriors were fighting each other, with Vegeta and Toppo throwing Kai spheres back and forth, while Izuku only kept his distance a little, trying to understand all the power those warriors had. Izuku. This is surprising, I never imagined they were capable of such things. Arc. Hey, it seems that in this place many participants are also starting to leave for another fight. Izuku. What do you mean? Arc. Look over there. He said this as they looked away where Goku was in front of Jiren who were in front of each other, where they seemed to hit each other, even though no one could see it. Arc. Those two are definitely very strong. Izuku. No way, I think we should try to find some way to control the situation. Arc. Then we should look for another fighter if I'm not mistaken. Izuku. Exactly, I hope this moment can have a good fight. As they walked they saw someone approaching them, it was Hit himself who was in front of them. Izuku. Looks like we'll be in trouble from this point onwards. Arc. Then we will fight together. At that moment they began to hear some explosions only to see that it was a warrior from the robot universe being giant, surprising everyone. Izuku. So there's another giant, hey Dark, you can take care of that one with your Gildigan form, I'll take care of this other guy. Arc. Sure, I don't see why not have a fight between giants at least. But that they began to walk towards Hit where he was quite serious. Hit. Are you sure you want to fight? Izuku. Of course, I will gladly finish you off. He went on to put his hands behind his head and began to adjust his bandage while Hit stared at him, causing him to freeze time briefly and began to walk towards him. Hit. I have no choice but to eliminate you, although I also have to eliminate the rest. As he prepared to finish him off, he noticed how his space began to crack little by little, where at one point it ended up breaking, causing Hit to end up moving away to see how he was using the blue transformation. Izuku. Surely you didn't imagine that I was capable of having this kind of power, especially coming from me. Hit. Clearly I didn't expect it, a Saiyan of your age capable of having so much power. Izuku. And I know your weakness, whenever you use your technique you manage to make it impossible for me to move in exchange for me ending up colliding with a huge mass of power, and your power ends up being useless. Hit. It seems that Son Goku gave you some extra advice, I think there are no more options. He stood on guard to launch himself against each other, where Hit tried to use his ability, only to end up seeing how again that space that he created ended up going away, so that he was hit by the same young man who was in front of Hit to continue attacking, until he managed to get away. Hit. Not bad, it seems like you really think about how to handle yourself. Izuku. This is the power that a Saiyan must have as his pride of him as a warrior, it's time for you to see about everything I'm truly capable of doing. At that moment they heard a light blow to see that it was Dark who was fighting against the other giant, where Izuku had a slight smile, only to be able to launch himself towards Hit, who ended up trying to get a little further away. Hit. Damn, I can't let this kind of thing go by lightly, it seems I need to prepare a little better. Before he was able to start fighting, they heard a lightning bolt so that Izuku himself could see how injured Hit was, only to notice how little by little someone was approaching, being Frieza himself who had a smile. Frieza. It seems you were in the middle of a bit of an important fight, young Izuku, not bad. Izuku. Frieza. What do you think you're doing, you damn wretch? Frieza. I'm clearly in charge of finishing off the enemy, don't tell me you didn't think about that before. Izuku. Better leave it already, that guy is mine. Frieza. Come on, I just want to have a little fun. He then pointed his finger at Hit so that more Kai rays came out of his fingertips, hitting Hit's body directly, causing him to end up more and more injured than before, while the Emperor's laughter began to be present until he had to stop because of a Kai sphere that was going directly towards his face. Frieza. What do you think you're doing? We're supposed to be allies. Izuku. I would never be your ally and I told you to leave him alone, if you are not able to understand the good way, then I have no choice but to teach you lessons the hard way. Frieza. I imagined something like this could happen, but I don't need you or any of the other Saiyans to win this tournament, my power is more than enough to defeat everyone. At that point he proceeded to record Hit by the head before being able to throw him somewhere else, while demonstrating his golden form to Izuku himself who got into a battle stance. Frieza. Tell me one thing, are you ready to die? A smile on his face was shown as Izuku had no idea whether to actually attack that emperor or not. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching, if you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day, bye.